After carefully reading the practice method of the chakra line, Uchiha Huangguo finally understood its essence. It turns out that the chakra line is an extension of human fingers, and a complete puppet must be controlled by 10 chakra lines, which is consistent with the total number of fingers. So a beginner puppet ninja can only control one puppet. With the continued study and practice of the chakra line, the tip of a chakra line will fork or grow new tentacles. If a chakra line grows into 10 tentacles, it is enough to control a puppet. It can be roughly referred to the spider silk fired by the amazing Spider-Man. The tip looks like a human finger. In this way, one finger can control a puppet, which is the so-called number of fingers. San Shinobi Cho is a representative of this type. So for puppet ninjas, the improvement of strength is not only the number and strength of puppets controlled, but also depends on the understanding and practice of chakra lines. I am not interested in puppet ninjas, but I can learn about chakra lines. At this moment, Uchiha Huangguo suddenly realized and brought up the idea of practicing chakra lines. If you want to learn chakra lines, you must have a certain level of chakra control and form change. And Uchiha Huangguo has completed tree climbing and treading water, and has also learned many medical ninjutsu and practiced sealing techniques, so he does not lack chakra control. Then the form change of chakra, Reisnan, is the top representative power of this. So in terms of chakra control and form change, Uchiha Huangguo has both perfectly. Then it is not difficult to complete the practice of chakra lines. The facts prove that it is indeed not difficult. It only took a few minutes to practice chakra lines. I saw Uchiha Huangguo move his index finger, and a transparent and colorless chakra line was launched. The first release of chakra line is just a tentacle. The next step is to form more tentacles, which will test chakra control more. He opened the Sharingan, and with the inside of the Sharingan, he only saw one tentacle, which of course could not satisfy Huangguo. In terms of chakra control, he learned medical ninjutsu and sealing techniques, and in terms of form change, he learned Reisnan. 2 tentacles, 3 tentacles, and then naturally completed the chakra line of 10 tentacles. Is it so easy? Chakra line is not that difficult. Uchiha Huangguo was a little surprised, but it was normal when he thought about it seriously. With his current chakra control and form changes, it would be abnormal if he could not practice the chakra line of 10 tentacles. However, even if he practiced this ultimate chakra line, it does not mean that Huangguo has a strong puppet ninjutsu. Chakra line is only one aspect of puppet ninjutsu. Understanding puppets and making powerful puppets are also important aspects of puppet ninjutsu. Compared with chakra line, the latter is more important. Buzz. Uchiha Huangguo controlled a captured puppet with this chakra line. Manipulate this puppet to walk, float, clench fists and kick, and display weapons and various mechanisms. It was difficult at first, but it became smooth in a few minutes. Haha, puppet ninjutsu is quite fun. Maybe I can use puppet technology to make figures of those anime characters from my previous life, and then control them with chakra lines. Just as Uchiha Huangguo was imagining the future, a suspicious smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. The door of Uchiha Huangguo's room was opened, and Anko and Hyaga Dongzu walked in. Puppet? Did San Shinobi sneak into Kikyo Castle? Hyaga Dongzu was shocked when she saw the moving puppet, and thought that San Shinobi was coming again. But when she opened her Byakugan and took a closer look, she found that it was Uchiha Huangguo who was controlling this puppet. The 2 Megatama Sharingan in both eyes were clearly visible, which made Hyaga Dongzu relieved. I thought Huangguo was killed, but that's right, with Huangguo's strength, how could he die easily? Hyaga Dongzu was still celebrating when she found Uchiha Huangguo's suspicious and obscene smile. Arakawa, what are you laughing at? However, the next second, Uchiha Arakawa's face returned to its usual seriousness, as if the smile just now was just an illusion. Eh? Arakawa, how can you use puppet ninjutsu? Anko was also surprised to see the walking puppet. Well, I just tried to learn the puppet ninjutsu I captured, and found it was not difficult. By the way, I can practice chakra control. Uchiha Arakawa explained calmly, as if the wretched person who just laughed was not him. Puppet ninjutsu? This thing is useless, and I don't like to use puppets. I'm not asking you to use puppet ninjutsu, just learn the chakra line. This chakra line is still very useful. As he said, Uchiha Arakawa's left index finger fired another chakra line, grabbed Anko's body, and dragged it to his side. Then he used the chakra line to take away the roasted ninja duck on the side, released the sealing technique Ryoku Zaianzei, and ate it all in 2 or 3 bites. Why are you pulling me? You scared me. Anko, dragged by the chakra line, screamed and found the roasted ninja duck that Huangguo was eating. Damn, Huangguo's food is too good. He actually eats roast duck, and that's super expensive ninja duck. Did the logistics department embezzle our food expenses? You think too much. You know how much I eat. I can't eat enough with logistics alone, so I paid for this ninja duck. Although Anko wanted to eat roasted ninja duck, since it was the food of teammate Huangguo, she didn't force it. Seeing that Anko and Hyaga Dongzu both swallowed their saliva, Uchiha Huangguo thought for a while it's okay to eat one less ninja duck. Thinking of this, Uchiha Huanghuo took out a scroll and took out a slaughtered ninja duck. Holding the ninja duck in his right hand, the power of the heat-hot fruit was released, and the ninja duck was roasted in 7 or 8 seconds. I'll only give you this one, and you can only eat it here. Generally speaking, it takes 3 people to finish a ninja duck, so Anko and Hyaga Fuyako can be full with 1 ninja duck. Watching the 2 people eating happily, Uchiha Huangguo suddenly thought, since I have trained the chakra line, I can replace my hands to control external objects, so this ninjutsu can be used. That day, the ninjas of Team 8 were on patrol at the border of Kikyo Castle. Uchiha Huangguo killed the captain of the Sand Shinobi team with 1 sword, and said in confusion, what happened during this period? Why do Sand Shinobi sneak into the border every day? Since Konoha Shinobi repelled Sand Shinobi's troops and killed about 800 Sand Shinobi has retreated to Kawano country these days. On the 6th day, Sand Shinobi sent many teams to the border of Fire country to investigate. But the investigation of Sand Shinobi team is meaningless, which makes Huangguo feel as if it is just a sacrifice. Hyaga Fuyako guessed, maybe Sand Shinobi just wants to paralyze us and then gather superior forces to capture Kikyo Castle. This possibility is not small. Huangguo knows that Sand Shinobi and Konoha Shinobi will inevitably have another decisive battle. That decisive battle is called the Battle of Kikyo Castle, which will make Sand Shinobi surrender completely. However, the Battle of Kikyo Castle a few days ago is obviously not the one Huangguo knows about. Anko disagreed and said, how is this possible? Kikyo Castle is easy to defend but difficult to attack. There are 3,000 Konoha Shinobi defending it. I can't imagine how Sand Shinobi can take Kikyo Castle. Rather than saying it's Sand Shinobi's calculation, it's better to think that Sand Shinobi has run out of tricks. Relatively speaking, Anko is indeed too naive. You know, Sand Shinobi's trump card One-Tail Shikakujin Shuraki has not been used yet. It's too early to say that Sand Shinobi has given up this battle. The 8th Teen Ninja returned to Kikyo Castle to report the mission. Orochimaru summoned Inoshikacho and other Konoha Jonin. Nara Shikaka summarized the information he had collected and said, Sand Shinobi is constantly taking action and seems to want to invade the Land of Fire. We must be on guard. Inyazukatsum snorted coldly, in my opinion, we might as well rush into the Land of Rivers and kill these Sand Shinobi bastards. Yamanaka Hai was puzzled, this is not good. The 3rd Hokage asked us to defend and not to rush. In addition, reinforcements from Sand Shinobi should have arrived in these days. Our 3,000 ninjas in Kikyo Castle are only good at defense, but it is difficult to attack. Inyazukatsum glanced at Yamanaka Hai with disdain. Coward, what are you afraid of? Sand Shinobi reinforcements, even if Sand Shinobi has more reinforcements, isn't it easy for Konoha Shinobi to work together to destroy them? Many Konoha Shinobi at the scene were helpless and said they really didn't know where Inyazukatsum got the courage from. Although courage is commendable, it is better to be steady at this moment. After hearing what the Jonin said, Orochimaru thought of the old man's instructions and said calmly, then we will do our best to kill the Sand Shinobi who dare to enter the border of the Fire country. Otherwise, we just need to defend. 6 days later, the Sand Shinobi finally found a way to break through the border of the Fire country. These are 2 opposing cliffs, and even with the jumping ability of the ninja, it is impossible to jump a distance of nearly 100 meters. However, it is not completely impossible. Luo She used the power of magnet style to make a 100-meter-long bridge divided into many sections, and then assembled it when he arrived at the destination. This place is not close to Kikyo Castle. If the Sand Shinobi's crossing speed is accelerated, then they can wait until the Konoha Shinobi arrives here to successfully cross the bridge, and then the Sand Shinobi soldiers will enter the heart of the Fire country. The goal of plundering resources is achieved as if there is no one along the way. That day, Cho and Luo She led 3,000 Sand Shinobi to quickly break through the border of the Fire country and came to this mountain. Cho took out the space scroll and released the iron plates that had been prepared in advance. Rosa, do it. Rosa didn't say anything more and immediately burst out magnet-style chakra to grab the iron plates. The iron plates were immediately magnetized and floating between the 2 hills, connecting each other to form a 100-meter-long bridge. All Sand Shinobi crossed the bridge quickly. After saying this, Rosa condensed a sand pad floating in the sky, fully controlling the iron plate bridge. Those Sand Shinobi immediately jumped and ran to the opposite hill at full speed. Cho was also the first to cross the bridge. She carefully observed the surrounding environment. Many sensory ninjas were also on guard. These Sand Shinobi didn't want to be besieged by Konoha Shinobi again. The losses from that siege were engraved in their hearts. Fortunately, it seems that the Konoha Shinobi didn't notice it, or didn't have time to react. Anyway, I have the advantage this time. After the 3,000 Sand Shinobi crossed the bridge safely, Cho was finally relieved. The future of the village depends on today. Plunder the resources of the Land of Fire with all our strength. At Cho's command, Luasha took the lead. In this way, the 3,000 Sand Shinobi shouted and charged, killing into the heart of the Land of Fire like wolves and tigers. If Sand Shinobi's plan succeeds this time, regardless of the loss of Fire Country, Sand Shinobi Village will surely make a lot of money. Even without the financial support of the Wind Country daimyo, Sand Shinobi Village can be passed down. After plundering Fire Country this time, I will be the fourth Kazekage of the village. At this moment, Luo Xia had such a fantasy in his heart. If he brought enough supplies to the village in trouble, no one would refute his achievement of becoming the Wind Shadow. It seemed as if he saw the scene of Wind Shadow Luo Xia leading Sand Shinobi Village to grow and develop. However, joy turns to sorrow. Luo Xia didn't feel happy for long before he found that the forest he entered was densely covered with detonating talismans. Oh no, this is Konoha's trap. This thought immediately emerged in Luo Xia's mind, and he shouted, "Detonating talisman! Sand Shinobi, hurry up, this is a trap." However, it was too late. He only heard the sound of burning, and it was these detonating talismans that were ignited. Boom 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 boom. At this moment, the sound of endless explosions resounded through the sky, flames were everywhere, the ground was shaking, and the screams of Sand Shinobi were heard. Damn Konoha bastards can only hide their heads and show their tails. It hurts so much, I'm really going to die this time. Damn it, I haven't achieved anything yet. At this time, the wails of Sand Shinobi spread across the border of the Land of Fire. At the moment when the detonating talisman exploded, on a hill not far away, Orochimaru smiled calmly. Shikaku was indeed a genius. He actually calculated the direction of Sand Shinobi's attack. This time, 30,000 detonating talismans are enough for Sand Shinobi to drink a pot. So Konoha, or more accurately, Nara Shikaku had already anticipated Sand Shinobi's actions this time. He also calculated 3 possible directions of Sand Shinobi's attack, and selected 3 corresponding locations to set up a large number of detonating talismans. It just so happened that Sand Shinobi's plan to cross the bridge this time was also a direction guessed by Nara Shikaku. In addition, Orochimaru had already led 2,000 Konoha shinobi out of Kikyo Castle in advance, and waited patiently on the hilltop relatively close to the 3 predicted directions. Nara Shikaku said modestly, "This is my job." It seems that Ebizo, who was good at planning on the Sand Shinobi side, did not come. Otherwise, he would not have calculated the actions of Sand Shinobi so easily. Sand Shinobi-cho is indeed a veteran of the battlefield, but after all, he is not as smart as Ebizo. It is understandable that he is suppressed in the field of IQ by Nara Shikaku, who is known as the super smart man of Konoha. Don't be modest. No one can ignore Shikaku's contribution to the ambush of Sand Shinobi this time. Then, Konoha Shinobi present, follow me to kill all these invading enemies. Orochimaru roared, and led the 2,000 Konoha shinobi to kill. After the forest exploded, a place full of gold sand. Damn, only these 10 or so Sand Shinobi were saved. The explosion was too fast, and the time was so short that the gold sand could not protect all the Sand Shinobi. It can be said that the group of about 300 Sand Shinobi who entered the forest with Luo Xia first were killed or injured. This time, let alone getting the merit of inheriting the position of Kazekage, it would be good if he was not held accountable by the village. Ha! Where did the shouting and killing sound come from? Luo Xia looked in the direction of the sound, but saw the Konoha shinobi rushing over. Konoha bastards, come and die. Rosa, who was extremely angry, immediately released magnet-style ninjutsu to fight, and the Sand Shinobi followed Raza to fight the Konoha shinobi. Haha, summoning technique, 10,000 snakes. 10,000 snakes Ra's formation. Wind style, great breakthrough, fire style, flame bomb, fire style, great fireball technique. At this time, various ninjutsu were bombarded, and the Sand Shinobi and Konoha shinobi fought fiercely. At this moment, in the border fortress of Kikyo Castle, Inyazuka Claw also heard the sound of the explosion in the forest over there. The explosion of 30,000 detonating tags was enough to cause a large-scale earthquake. Sand Shinobi was blown up, let's go too, and flattened the Sand Shinobi camp. Inyazuka Claw shouted so loudly, and her ninja dog Hamera responded with a bark. Well, we should teach these Sand Shinobi a lesson. Teach these Sand Shinobi who are destroying peace a lesson. 600 Konoha shinobi followed Inyazuka-tsum out of Kikyo Castle, quickly jumped across the border of the Land of Fire, and entered the Sand Shinobi camp in the Land of Rivers. The 8th team of ninjas also participated in the raid on the Sand Shinobi camp. This was Nara Shikaku's plan. Since he had expected the Sand Shinobi to enter the Land of Fire again, he had to give the Sand Shinobi a lesson in addition to intercepting their soldiers. This was the plan to crush the Sand Shinobi. Hayagatuko kept her eyes open all the way, and silently dealt with the patrolling Sand Shinobi all the way. It took about 2 hours to reach the destination. This was the camp established by the Sand Shinobi in the Land of Rivers, and the supplies looted by the Sand Shinobi from the Land of Rivers were also stored there. Very good, this is the Sand Shinobi camp, the wall looks very solid. Sand Shinobi did not build the camp from scratch, but chose a small town in the country of River. After driving away the local people of this small town, there are now about 300 Sand Shinobi left in the Sand Shinobi camp. Last time, 800 of the 3,000 sand shinobi were lost, and the sand shinobi village in the back reinforced another 1,000 ninjas. This time, Cho sent another 3,000 sand shinobi to the country of fire, and there were only about 300 garrison ninjas left in the camp. Now 600 Konoha shinobi are fighting 300 sand shinobi. The Konoha shinobi do have an advantage in numbers, but the sand shinobi defending the city have the advantage of terrain. If they cannot quickly break the city gate, then when the sand shinobi in front come back to help, Inyazuka Claw and other Konoha shinobi will be in danger. Fortunately, the Konoha shinobi have prepared a siege strategy in advance. Uchiha Ranhuo, it's up to you next. Uchiha Ranhuo nodded and walked out of the crowd. Then fire-style chakra mode. At this moment, Uchiha Ranhuo took a deep breath and suddenly entered fire-style chakra mode, with a layer of 300 degrees Celsius high-temperature flames all over his body. Such a high temperature made the Konoha shinobi present exclaim that it was so hot. Hyaga Fuyako and Anko were shocked even though it was not the first time they saw Ranhuo's fire-style chakra mode. To release fire-style chakra as flames, this is a great test of the practitioner's chakra control and fire-style attainments. I have never seen a fire-style ninja do this. How is this similar to the lightning-style chakra mode of Cloud Shinobi 3rd Raikage? So amazing, when can I be so powerful? The Konoha shinobi present were all amazed and praised Uchiha Ranhuo's fire-style chakra mode. Uchiha opened the Sharingan and put his palms together. The temperature of his palms soared to 2000 degrees Celsius, and the lines of the sealing technique condensed in the palms. When his palms slightly separated, a red ping-pong-sized fireball appeared, emitting terrifying heat and fluctuations. Fire-style forbidden technique, thermobaric bomb. This is Uchiha's reference to the explosion principle and power of the thermobaric bomb in the previous life, using the power of the heat-hot fruit, fire-style ninjutsu and sealing technique to create a ninjutsu version of the thermobaric bomb. The power of the ninjutsu version of the thermobaric bomb is not much worse than the real thermobaric bomb. This is also the confidence that Inyazuka Tsurugi believes that he can break the gate of the Sand Shinobi camp. Orochimaru and Nara Shikaku have already planned to raid the Sand Shinobi camp, but they are worried that there is no good way to break the gate. Uchiha knew Orochimaru's worries, so he showed Orochimaru the explosion power of this ninjutsu version of the thermobaric bomb. What solid city gate can't be broken by such a terrifying explosion? As a result, the 8th team of ninjas also participated in the raid on the Sand Shinobi camp. Otherwise, Uchiha Huanguo would follow Orochimaru to intercept the Sand Shinobi soldiers. After learning the chakra line, this thermobaric bomb can be used as a long-range ninjutsu. Uchiha Huanguo thought so, and his right index finger launched a chakra line and caught the thermobaric bomb. The next moment, his right hand flicked lightly, and the chakra line dragged the thermobaric bomb to fly out at a high speed, and in the blink of an eye, it flew to the gate of the Sand Shinobi camp. At this moment, I can say that art is explosion. Exploded for me. After saying that, Uchiha Huanguo immediately detonated the thermobaric bomb with the chakra line. There was a loud explosion at the gate of Kikyo Castle. Everything within 100 meters was immediately blown up, and the oxygen was burned out. Then there was another loud explosion, which was the secondary explosion of the thermobaric bomb. It formed a gust of air that surged into the sky, and the explosion spread to a radius of 300 meters. Not to mention the gate of the Sand Shinobi camp, even the wall connecting the gate was destroyed, and none of the Sand Shinobi that were hit survived. The Konoha shinobi were speechless for a moment in amazement at the terrifying power of the thermobaric bomb. What a terrifying explosion power! No matter how many times I see it, I feel terrified. Inyazuka Claw exclaimed. Compared with the explosive power of the thermobaric bomb, the explosive power of this detonating tag was unbearable. Then Inyazuka Tail came back to his senses and shouted, Konoha shinobi, crush the Sand Shinobi camp right now. Kuromaru, or clone. Ye Tanja. Kuromaru immediately turned into Inyazuka Tail, and Inyazuka Tail and the orc clone released the Ye Tanja technique, spinning quickly and immediately killing into the camp through the gap of the explosion. 600 Konoha shinobi also immediately followed Inyazuka Tail to kill the enemy all the way. Huanhuo, I found the warehouse where the camp supplies are stored. It's over there, follow me. Hyaga Fuyako's Byakugan's perspective power once again made a contribution. Uchiha Huanguo and Anko followed their teammates' steps. The important task of raiding the Sand Shinobi camp, in addition to killing the Sand Shinobi defending the city, is to destroy the supplies looted by the Sand Shinobi, which is enough to make the Sand Shinobi heartbroken for a long time. Maybe it will be devastated. When the gate of the camp was blown up by the thermobaric bomb, all the Sand Shinobi in the city were affected by the explosion. Many Sand Shinobi had their heads buzzing, and they didn't come back to their senses when they were killed by the Konoha shinobi. Enemy attack, enemy attack. The Konoha shinobi are coming. Oh no, the gate was blown up. The Sand Shinobi defending the city finally came back to their senses this time, and immediately gathered to kill the Konoha shinobi. The Sand Shinobi Yekang, who was also defending the city, killed 7 or 8 Konoha shinobi with a scorch-style fireball in anger, and suddenly thought of something. Oh no, the the supplies in the camp are in danger. Yakang thought that the Konoha shinobi would come to raid the camp, so he must not forget to destroy the supplies in the camp. Those materials were collected by Sand Shinobi with great effort. They contain the future of the village. We must not allow them to be destroyed by Konoha shinobi. In Yakang's heart, these materials are not only the rations of Sand Shinobi on the front line, but also the essentials for the development of the village. Thinking of this, Yakang immediately ordered Sand Shinobi on the scene to intercept the enemy, but she personally dealt with the enemies that might appear in the camp warehouse. At this moment, the ninjas of Team 8 have already arrived at the camp warehouse with the power of the Byakugan. Looking at such a large warehouse, Uchiha Huangguo sighed that Sand Shinobi was indeed conscientious and responsible, and actually looted so many materials from the not-so-rich river country. It's a pity that there are not enough seal scrolls, otherwise these materials can be taken away, wouldn't it be a small fortune? But now they have to destroy these materials by themselves. The power of the heat-hot fruit, 1500 degrees Celsius, fire-style great fireball technique, a 1500 degrees Celsius, 10-meter diameter great fireball was formed, and the next second it burned the supplies. A large amount of supplies were burned in a few breaths. In order to speed up the burning speed, Uchiha Huangguo released 8 high-temperature fireballs again. Anko on the side also used fire-style ninjutsu to speed up the progress. At this moment, if the thermobaric bomb is used, it can indeed destroy the supplies on the scene in an instant, but the explosive power of the thermobaric bomb will also affect the Konoha shinobi who entered the camp. An enemy is found. This person's chakra temperature is very high. The alert Hyaga Fuyako saw a Sand Shinobi running towards this side with the power of the Byakugan. Hearing the prompt, Uchiha Huangguo's mind moved slightly, the power of the heat-hot fruit was activated, and his eyes turned slightly red. The power of the heat-hot fruit, thermal imaging. Originally, thermal perception can sense the temperature changes around the body, and can sense the temperature of living people. Advertisement. Thermal imaging is the evolution of thermal perception, which can only be used in fire-style chakra mode. It can not only sense the surrounding temperature, but also see the thermal imaging of living people with your own eyes. Living people within a radius of 1 kilometer, even if they hide behind something, can see the people with thermal imaging. To a certain extent, it can be compared to the perspective power of the white eye. There really is an enemy coming. Such a chakra temperature is much higher than the chakra temperature of normal ninjas. That should be the famous Sand Shinobi Scorch-style Yakang. Uchiha Huangguo guessed the identity of the person who came, wondering if Scorch-style ninja Yakang would actually guard the house. Shouldn't such an important combat force follow the Sand Shinobi soldiers into the land of fire? It's a little troublesome, but the problem shouldn't be big. At this moment, Sand Shinobi Yakang saw the warehouse burning with flames. This scene clearly showed that the supplies in the warehouse were destroyed. Damn Konoha shinobi, you are destroying the future of the village. Go to hell. Scorch-style fireball technique. The furious Sand Shinobi Yekra fired 6 Scorch-style fireballs, and each ninja in Team 8 was given 2 fairly. Gentle Fist 8 Trigrams Revolving Heaven. Hidden Shadow Snake Hand. Hyagatuko successfully deflected 2 Scorch-style fireballs, but the many snakes summoned by Anko were burned by the Scorch-style fireballs. Fire breathing, full concentration, flame dance. Uchiha Huangguo destroyed 2 Scorch-style fireballs with a 12-type flame dance. Then fire flash body and flame dance saved Anko, a teammate in danger. Anko, this is the second time I've saved you. Why are you so stubborn and want to resist the Scorch-style fireball? A true ninja should be brave enough to fight all enemies. At this moment, although Anko was afraid in her heart, she was still very stubborn. Uchiha Huangguo was helpless and waved her hand and said, "Okay, Fuyako, Anko, you go first. This Scorch-style ninja is not someone you can fight. You go first. Even if I can't win with my strength, it's not difficult to escape." Hyaga Danza knew that participating in this battle with her strength would be tantamount to suicide. Then be careful Huangguo, don't die. After saying that, she dragged Anko, who still wanted to stay, away. Damn it, you ruined the future of the village, and you still want to escape in front of me? Stay here and be buried with these supplies. Scorch style. However, before the angry Sand Shinobi Yekra released the Scorch-style fireball, Uchiha Huangguo's fire instant body and one-shaped round dance interrupted the casting. In fire-style chakra mode, the power of all swordplay moves is increased by 10 times. Before the wildfire arrived, a 3-meter-long high-temperature flame sword slashed over. Such a terrifying fire swordplay, even if I get hit, I will die. Yakura had no choice but to dodge this swordplay, but was met with the wildfire's continuous swordplay attack. Dragon Nest Flash. Arrogance. Shira Nui. Round Dance. Flame Tiger. Purgatory. Countless high-temperature flames swept through Sand Shinobi Yekra, leaving her no time to care about the 2 people who escaped. This pair of Sherinan, such exquisite fire swordsmanship. Are you the Uchiha ninja from last time? Konoha's genius must be strangled. The whole body is bathed in flames. This should be imitating the lightning-style chakra mode of the third Reikage. If this person is allowed to grow steadily, he will definitely become cage level, which is another reason why he must be strangled. The Sand Shinobi Yakang, who was concentrating his mind, also recognized the Uchiha wildfire, thinking that since the supplies in the camp warehouse could not be avoided from being destroyed, it would be good to strangle a Konoha genius at this moment. Want to kill me? That depends on whether you have the strength. Uchiha Huangguo said that if a mere Sand Shinobi Yakang could kill him, then wouldn't he have traveled through time in vain? Arrogant boy, I will let you know the essence of Scorch-style ninjutsu next. Use your life to understand the power of this Scorch-style ninjutsu. Scorch style, super explosion, and steaming kill. Sand Shinobi Yakang narrowly avoided Huangguo's swordsmanship flames again, and jumped into the sky, with both hands facing in front of him, and a Scorch-style fireball with a diameter of 10 meters appeared. Aiming at Uchiha Huangguo, Sand Shinobi Yakang fiercely threw this huge Scorch-style fireball. You should know that the Scorch-style fireball Yakang usually uses is about the size of a football, which can turn a person into a mummy. The power of this 10-meter diameter Scorch-style fireball is so terrifying that it is unimaginable. However, Uchiha Huangguo never panicked. He held the samurai sword in his right hand and aimed at the Scorch-style fireball with his left hand. Do you want to use any ninjutsu? But the high temperature of the Scorch-style fireball cannot be intercepted by ordinary ninjutsu. Scorch-style is super explosive and steam-killing. When it hits the target, it will evaporate the moisture in the area and there will be a terrifying explosion force. So this person will become a mummy in the next second, but the explosion force will make this person's body disappear. At this moment, Yakang was calm and composed, as if he was sure that the Uchiha Huangguo in front of him would die. But then, the scene that made Sand Shinobi Yakang stunned and shocked appeared. I saw Uchiha Huangguo holding the Scorch-style fireball in his hand, chuckled and said, Scorch-style fireball, about 1500 degrees Celsius, the temperature is indeed high enough, but I am the least afraid of high temperature. Scorch-style is a blood limit formed by the fusion of wind attribute and fire attribute chakra. It can form the effect of air drying, so the proportion of fire attribute chakra is higher, so it is biased towards the nature transformation of fire-style chakra. The power of the heat fruit can be fearless of all high temperatures, and can ignore the high temperature of the Scorch-style fireball. How is this possible? The temperature of the Scorch-style fireball is enough to burn a person to ashes. How can this person control such a temperature? Why didn't it explode? Did it suppress the power of the explosion? Wait! Sharingan, am I under an illusion? What a powerful illusion! Uchiha Sharingan is really not to be underestimated. Illusion solution. Sand Shinobi Yakang, who thought he had figured it out, used various means to try to solve this inexplicable illusion. But no matter how many times he tried, the scene in front of him remained the same. When you see your Scorch-style fireball being held, do you think you've been caught in an illusion? Since you can't accept such a reality, stay in the illusion world. Sharingan illusion, magic shackle technique. Sand Shinobi Yakang, who was still trying to solve the so-called illusion, immediately stiffened all over, and 6 nails controlled her body. I can't move. Is this a multiple illusion? Uchiha Huangguo's left hand's hot fruit showed its power again, and the next moment it crushed the huge Scorch-style fireball. Fire instant body, round dance. Go to hell, Sand Shinobi. Uchiha Huangguo came to Sand Shinobi Yakang in the blink of an eye, and a 3-meter-long high-temperature flame sword was formed. Advertisement. A scene of explosion appeared, and the head of Scorch-style ninja Yakang was cut off. At this moment, Scorch-style ninja Yakang was removed from the ninja world. A mere Scorch-style ninja, not even half as good as me. At this moment, Uchiha Huangguo was very excited, and wanted to shout, Huo is here, who else is there? This was the first time that Uchiha Huangguo killed a famous ninja in the ninja world. Scorch-style ninja Yakang is famous in all ninja villages in every country. But Huangguo thinks that Scorch-style Yakang's strength is probably not at cage level. Stronger than elite Jonin, a few points weaker than cage level. If her strength is really accurately determined, quasi-cage level is very suitable. But there is no quasi-shadow level of strength in the ninja world. This Sand Shinobi Yakang did not get rid of the illusion until his death. It seems that the power of the Sharingan illusion is also very powerful. I did ignore it before, and I will focus on using the Sharingan illusion in the future. Uchiha Huangguo did learn the Sharingan illusion, but he did not use it often in daily battles, but often used breathing swordsmanship. Now that the Sand Shinobi has been killed, Yakura has discovered the powerful power of the Sharingan illusion. Then we can consider retreating now. The mission of raiding the Sand Shinobi camp has been successfully completed. Just as Uchiha Huangguo's thermal imaging perception saw less than 30 Sand Shinobi lingering, the warehouse supplies were also burned out. If they did not retreat, it would be difficult to escape when the Sand Shinobi soldiers came back. In this way, Uchiha Huangguo ended the fire-style chakra mode, and the flames on his body suddenly turned into nothingness, and he found the Konoha Shinobi in the direction of perception. Great, Huang Wo is fine. Anko saw the arrival of Uchiha Huang Wo with sharp eyes and shouted loudly, and Hyaga Fuyako was also relieved. Uchiha Huang Wo nodded to the two, and said to the captain Inyazuka Tsumugi, "The mission is completed, the warehouse of the Sand Shinobi camp has been burned down." But he saw the right eye of the ninja dog Kuromaru bleeding from the corner of his eye. So Kuromaru was blinded by this surprise attack. Uchiha Huang Wo can use medical ninjutsu, but now is not a good time to treat Kuromaru. Inyazuka Tsum heard that the mission was completed, so he called his teammates to retreat. As a result, 600 Konoha shinobi retreated from the Sand Shinobi camp, walked out of the river country at a very fast speed, and returned to Kikyo Castle, the border city of the Fire Country. The Sand Shinobi soldiers who invaded the Fire Country fought hard with the Konoha shinobi under the leadership of Luasha. Sand Shinobi Cho and Luasha entered the forest full of detonating tags together, but were knocked unconscious by the explosive power of the endless detonating tags. Cho, who woke up, saw that the Sand Shinobi soldiers were still in a state of decline, and decisively issued an order to withdraw again. This time, the Konoha shinobi prepared in advance, and the Sand Shinobi's plan to plunder the Land of Fire completely failed. It is not certain whether the Konoha shinobi has other plans behind the release. The situation for the Sand Shinobi is not good at the moment, so Cho decided to withdraw and stayed behind to cover the retreat. When most of the Sand Shinobi soldiers successfully crossed the bridge, Luasha flew back on a sand mat to rescue Cho. However, when Cho and Luasha returned to the Sand Shinobi camp, they saw the ruined camp and suddenly felt endless anger. Damn Konoha bastards, they actually attacked the camp. At this moment, Cho was really furious, cursing Konoha shinobi for being unworthy of being a son. Unexpectedly, all the calculations were in vain, and not only did they lose their wives and soldiers, but their homes were also robbed. This wave of losses was really heavy. After gathering the Sand Shinobi soldiers, it was found that only about 2,000 Sand Shinobi returned. In other words, 1,000 Sand Shinobi were lost in the Land of Fire. According to the previous battle of Kikyo Castle, about 800 Sand Shinobi were lost, and about 1,000 Sand Shinobi were lost this time, and more than 200 Sand Shinobi guarding the camp were lost. The total number of Sand Shinobi lost was about 2,000 people, and such a heavy loss made Cho very sad. Then Cho went to the camp warehouse, but only saw the burnt mud. It's really hard to lose the supplies. The Sand Shinobi at the scene were all heartbroken and could hardly breathe. What, Yakang died in the battle? This is another bad thing for Cho. Even if she thinks Yakang is indecisive, he is still very powerful and is a precious fighting force of the village. The power of Scorch-style ninjutsu can turn even cage-level people into mummies if they are not careful. Now that she knows Yakang's death and sees Yakang's head and headless body with her own eyes, Cho really can't accept it. Although Luo Xia on the side is also very angry about the destruction of the Sand Shinobi camp, he is also very uncomfortable to see Yakang's body, but he is slightly relieved in his heart. This time, the position of Kaze Cage is finally undisputed. You should know that Luo Xia and Yakang are both candidates for the position of 4th Kaze Cage. After the Battle of Kikyo Castle, the decisive Luo Xia was recognized by Cho. For this Fire Country looting plan, Yakang was left in the camp, and Luo Xia followed to the Fire Country to make achievements. However, the Fire Country looting plan failed, and Sand Shinobi's soldiers suffered heavy losses. Even if it was not a decision-making problem of Luasha could not get rid of this stain. But now that Yakang died in the battle, Luasha became the only heir to the position of Kaze Cage. This really made Luasha sigh in his heart that he was so lucky. Cho and Luasha learned from the remaining camp Sand Shinobi that the one who killed Scorch-style Yakang was a Konoha shinobi who was covered with flames and controlled the high-temperature flame sword. He also opened the Sharingan, which was undoubtedly a ninja from the Uchiha clan. In the next battle, Sand Shinobi spread the name of Fiery Sword Wildfire. At this moment, Cho was ruthless and ordered Sand Shinobi, who was not injured much, to leave the camp, search the land of Kawano country, and try his best to loot more supplies. The supplies of the Sand Shinobi were burned by the Konoha shinobi, and the village cannot provide support. If new supplies cannot be found, the Sand Shinobi will starve today. In order for the Sand Shinobi to survive, the people of the river country must suffer. Cho never thought about the material support for the village. You know, poor villages must be supported by them to plunder supplies, and there is no need to consider the extra. It can be imagined that the people of the river country will suffer in the future. Cho discussed with Luasha and many Sand Shinobi and decided not to provoke the Konoha shinobi first. First accumulate strength, welcome Sand Shinobi reinforcements, and find new places to plunder. Orochimaru led the Konoha shinobi to return to Kikyo Castle in victory, but the battle report reached Konoha, and the third Hokage was not so happy when he knew it. Orochimaru is still too radical. It would be enough to just repel the Sand Shinobi soldiers, but he also attacked the river country to destroy the supplies in the Sand Shinobi camp? This approach would be bad if it triggered the Sand Shinobi's fierce killing intent. Obviously, Sarutobi Hiruzen thought that Orochimaru was still greedy for merit and reckless. This undoubtedly violated his decision as a Hokage, but the facts prove that Orochimaru's decision is correct. Sand Shinobi has been severely damaged. I believe it will be stable for a long time in the future. It can be said that Sand Shinobi and Konoha will not have another large-scale war in the short term. This is still a plan supported by Nara Shikaku, a well-known smart man in Konoha. Anyway, the result is good now. Mito Kato Homura applauded the wisdom of Orochimaru and Nara Shikaku, and Udaten Koharu also agreed with this view. Sarutobi Hiruzen smoked his pipe in silence, thinking about asking Orochimaru to return to the village. It's not the right time to call Orochimaru back now. It's better to wait until Sand Shinobi Kikyo Castle is more stable. It's just that the battle report said that Uchiha Wildfire killed Sand Shinobi Scorch-style ninja Yekra and killed more than 160 Sand Shinobi. Such a record is different from his performance in the ninja school. Did I make a mistake? Or is this person very scheming and good at hiding? Uchiha Wildfire? What should I do with you? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't expect that Uchiha Wildfire, who was just an ordinary ninja school, would show such a strong strength. What fire-style chakra mode, self-contained swordsmanship and high-temperature flame sword, are really unheard of. This is undoubtedly the secret technique created by Uchiha Wildfire. I thought this person was just very talented in biotechnology, so he developed edible ninja beast duck. I didn't expect that this person's research on ninjutsu is also excellent. According to the Umbu Ninja's investigation, Uchiha Araikan awakened the two Magatama Sharingan just by seeing his teammates in danger. He awakened Sharingan at the age of 10, and had two Magatama at the first sight. Such a bloodline talent can also be called penultimate. I wonder if this person's fire will has improved. Will Orochimaru listen to my advice and strengthen this person's fire will? Perhaps out of concern for the Uchiha clan, Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to bring Uchiha Araikan back immediately. It's better to wait a little longer. It's only right to issue the order to change the ninja's guard when the situation in Kikyo Castle is more stable. The achievements of Arakawa must be rewarded, so he will be promoted to Chunin and rewarded with an opportunity to learn the sealed book of A-level ninjutsu. A-level is a little low, let's give him S-level. Considering Uchiha Arakawa's achievements, he is good enough to learn S-level ninjutsu. Sand Shinobi Scorch-style ninja Yekra is still a well-known ninja in the ninja world. It is said that he is also the candidate for Kaze Cage of Sand Shinobi Village. In addition, Arakawa has killed a lot of Jonin, Chunin and Genin, and it is normal to give Uchiha Arakawa an S-level ninjutsu of the sealed book in order to win people's hearts. That afternoon, Uchiha Arakawa, who was still in Kikyo Castle, received a message to be promoted to Konoha Chunin and learn S-level ninjutsu of the sealed book. Uchiha Arakage himself didn't care much, but Anko was extremely envious. Even the calm Hayaga Tuko couldn't remain calm. Some Konoha shinobi were confused at the time. If you want to become a Chunin, don't you have to go through the Chunin exam? These Konoha shinobi were ridiculed by others after saying this. Are some people just sleeping in the ninja school? What kind of ninja are they if they don't know? Completing the Chunin exam can indeed make you a Chunin, but in this fierce war, the village can't safely conduct the Chunin exam. So as long as you have enough strength and enough record, you can be reported to the Hokage by one side and allowed to become a Chunin. Uchiha Huangwo killed more than 100 Sand Shinobi, right? He also killed the Scorch-style ninja Ye Kang. With such a terrifying record, let alone Chunin, there is no problem in becoming a Jonin. More Konoha shinobi praised Uchiha Huangwo for his strength. If the village wants to strictly implement the Chunin exam, it must have a certain stable environment. For example, after the Ninja World War or during the period of confrontation between the various ninja villages, there will be free time and energy to take the Chunin exam. It is obviously incomprehensible that Uzumaki Naruto, who has terrifying power, is still a genin at the time of the Ninja World War. That is just because Konoha has enjoyed peace for many years, and Naruto, who is destined to become the Hokage of Konoha, needs to learn more knowledge. Ordinary ninjas do not need to achieve that level. They only need a certain level of strength and ninja mission experience or record to be promoted to Chunin. Uchiha Huangwo met the conditions, and the record he obtained was so dazzling. If he was not promoted to Chunin, then others would say that Hokage was too unscrupulous in suppressing the Uchiha clan. Although many people know that Hokage is indeed suppressing Uchiha, this kind of thing can be done secretly, but it would be inappropriate to say it openly. So Uchiha Huangwo was successfully promoted to Chunin after all. After many days, the border city of Kikyo finally became more stable. These days, the Sand Shinobi have reduced the number of times they enter the Land of Fire, as if they have diverted their attention. The name of Uchiha Huangwo's fiery sword is well known to many Sand Shinobi, and Luasha claims that he must kill Konoha's fiery sword to avenge the dead Sand Shinobi Scorch style. Konoha Shinobi are proud of the name of fiery sword. The name of fiery sword is quite satisfactory to Uchiha Huangwo, and it is good that there is no weird nickname. There was no war in Kikyo City today, and Kikyo City welcomed 1,000 Konoha Shinobi. It turned out that the third Hokage saw that Kikyo City was gradually stabilizing, so he decided to replace Orochimaru's group of Konoha shinobi. Uchiha looked at Sarutobi Shinishuk talking modestly with Orochimaru, but he knew in his heart that this should be the third Hokage who ordered his eldest son to come to Kikyo Castle to gild himself. Now that Sand Shinobi did not plan to continue to gather troops to invade the Land of Fire, he sent Sarutobi Shinishuk to be the commander, so that he could get some credit for maintaining peace on the border. This is the fruit that is ripe and has been picked. It seems that I have to return to Konoha. I don't care too much about this merit or not. I just go back to continue practicing and developing ninjutsu. At this moment, Uchiha was very calm. These days of war life have condensed a lot of inspiration for ninjutsu. Now that he has gained a certain record and prestige from this ninja world war, he can also complete his previous plans. After waiting for Orochimaru and Sarutobi Shinishuk to hand over, nearly 2,000 Konoha shinobi walked out of Kikyo Castle and returned to Konoha. They arrived in Konoha at 6 o'clock in the afternoon that day and were welcomed by the people of Konoha. Advertisement. Welcome back the hero of Konoha. Thank you to the ninjas who fought for the peace of Konoha. Such banners were all over the sides of the gate of Konoha. Hearing the cheers of the people, it must be said that the returning Konoha shinobi were full of pride, and Orochimaru's stern face also showed a smile. Teammate Anko grinned and waved. Not to mention the touched Konoha shinobi, at this moment it seemed as if their souls were sublimated, and the battle on the front battlefield also had meaning. Uchiha Huangwo was very calm, knowing that these easily incited Konoha people would not be too grateful to him as an Uchiha ninja. After the welcome ceremony of Konoha, Uchiha Huangwo returned home and fell asleep peacefully. It's true that being at home in the Konoha family is more relaxing than being in the border fortress Kikyo Castle. At this moment, a secret underground place somewhere in the ninja world. White Zetsu reported to the elderly Madara, Lord Madara, according to your request, White Zetsu clones have found suitable Uchiha people. Zufang, Bailey, Nanmu, Taihuo, Jianshui, Figzu, Xingyu, Obito, Huangwo, these 9 are all suitable Uchiha people. The first 7 were all trained by the Uchiha clan school, and their strength reached the level of elite shinin. Huo and Obito entered the ninja school to study, and participated in the ninja world war not long after graduating from the ninja school. Compared to Obito, whose strength is at most genin, Huangwo is much more shocking. White Zetsu then talked about the performance of these 9 people, mocking Obito's poor combat power and praising Huangwo's terrifying strength. Lord Madara, I think Uchiha Aruka is very suitable to be Madara's successor. He is very powerful and has awakened Sharingan. With this talent, Madara-sama will only need to teach him more ninjutsu knowledge to complete Project Tsuki no Mi. It seems that Uchiha Aruka is recognized by White Zetsu, so he strongly recommends Uchiha Madara. What do these defective products know? No one knows Sharingan better than me. Uchiha Madara thought to himself, comparing the advantages and disadvantages of the Uchiha tribesmen mentioned by White Zetsu, but he had different opinions. Those Uchiha who are raised by the clan are all standard and ordinary Uchiha. Even if they are very powerful at this stage, it is very difficult for them to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan. Uchiha Wildfire killed Scorch-style ninjas, killed so many Sand Shinobi, and awakened the 2 Megatama Sharingan. Such strength and talent are all good, but White Zetsu also said that Wildfire performed very ordinary in the ninja school, and immediately shone brightly when he went to the battlefield, and also developed an edible ninja beast duck. Uchiha Madara couldn't help but pick up an edible ninja beast duck and ate it. Well, this ninja beast duck tastes really good. It strengthens physical fitness and can also repair the body's hidden injuries. It makes me feel much more relaxed after reaching the end of my body. Although Uchiha Madara's strength is terrifying, he has more hidden injuries than ordinary ninjas, so he understands the effect of ninja beast duck more thoroughly. These are enough to show that Uchiha Arakawa is very smart and rational, and such a person is hard to fool. Compared with the uncontrollable Arakawa, Obito, who looks lively and innocent, is easier to convince. Uchiha Madara compared Arakawa and Obito, and thought Obito was more suitable. However, Uchiha Arakawa's talent was praised by the old Madara, who planned to make him a spare tire. He gave White Zetsu an order to monitor the 2. Of course, Uchiha Arakawa didn't know that he was used as a spare tire. Uchiha Arakawa slept peacefully for a night, and when he woke up the next day, he went to find the great elder Uchiha Yunlong. Elder Yunlong, I'm starving to death, I want to eat roasted ninja duck. Without notifying, Uchiha Arakawa shouted as soon as he entered the great elder's house. Hey, isn't this our Konoha fiery sword? Did you hear me? Don't let the fiery sword starve. Go and prepare the roasted ninja duck. Uchiha Yunlong seemed very happy and mentioned the name of Uchiha Arakawa. Since Uchiha Yunlong knew the name of the fiery sword, it can be said that Uchiha is also concerned about the situation of the ninja world war. I think he knows Uchiha Huangwo's record. Then Uchiha Huangwo's sealing technique Ryoku Zaianzei was released, and the Doughty pattern on his abdomen appeared, showing his terrifying appetite and digestive power again. After eating 30 roasted ninja ducks in a short time, he looked at the shocked Uchiha Yunlong and took out 3 ninja scrolls and threw them to him. Uchiha Yunlong received the 3 ninja scrolls as a conditioned reflex. Huangguo's terrifying appetite is unimaginable no matter how many times I see it. Uchiha Huangguo smiled calmly and said, the appetite of a ninja is also related to the strength of the ninja to a certain extent, let's not talk about this for now. He gestured to take a look at the 3 ninja scrolls. The practice method of fire breathing, the training points of full concentration breathing, and the practice method of fire-style chakra mode. This is the secret technique I give back to the family. I hope the family will become stronger and stronger. At this moment, Uchiha Huangguo killed countless enemies in the Battle of Kikyo Castle and obtained the name of Konoha Fiery Sword. It is just right to hand over these secret technique training methods to the family. These secret techniques can be valued by the family. Fire breathing can not only strengthen the practitioner's physical fitness, but also increase the amount of chakra of the practitioner, and can also help practice the nature transformation of fire chakra, which can enhance the power of fire-style ninjutsu. Using fire breathing can also enhance the power of physical skills or swordsmanship. It is not only applicable to the matching fire breathing moves, but also to the swordsmanship of Uchiha style. The full concentration breathing mode is an enhancement of fire breathing. Breathing all day long can make your breathing stronger. The fire-style chakra mode is slightly more difficult. It requires ultimate chakra control and form changes, as well as a high level of understanding and application of fire-style chakra. It must also be honed to a certain degree in the full concentration breathing mode before it can be learned. If you want to learn fire breathing, you only need to practice day after day. The full concentration breathing mode is not too difficult. It can be completed with more time and effort. But fire-style chakra mode is very difficult. Uchiha Wildfire still found another way to complete it with the power of the heat fruit. Without this power, even the current Uchiha Huangguo cannot use fire-style chakra mode. You should know that 300 degrees Celsius is the minimum limit of fire-style chakra mode, but even 300 degrees Celsius is not something the body can withstand. So a certain level of physical strength and understanding of fire-style are required to use it. In fact, the sealing technique Roku Senthil is also related to these secret techniques. The food eaten by the sealing technique Roku Senthil is digested and absorbed, and refined into physical strength by the fully concentrated breathing mode. However, the use of the sealing technique Roku Senthil requires the relevant internal organs to be maintained at 100 degrees Celsius. Even if the ninja's body organs rise to 100 degrees Celsius, they will not live long. Some bloodline limit ninjas are exceptions. Even if this technique is mastered, without the transformation of fully concentrated breathing, it only strengthens the appetite and digestive power, then the practitioner will become fat. So after thinking about it, Uchiha Huangguo did not pass this technique to the family. Now Uchiha Yunlong exclaimed several times, which shocked Uchiha Huangguo's talent for developing ninjutsu again. Fire breathing, full concentration breathing in fire-style chakra mode, this is the secret of Wildfire's power, and the origin of the name of the blazing sword. Uchiha Yunlong carefully read these secrets and compared them with the strength he knew of Uchiha Wildfire. He was more optimistic about the prospects of these secrets. Fire breathing and full concentration breathing must be promoted in the family, which will certainly greatly enhance the strength of the family. If Elder Yunlong wants to promote it to the whole family, then I suggest that fire breathing can be included in the family learning curriculum, and full concentration breathing must test the physical strength of the family members. I think the body of an ordinary Chunin can barely learn full concentration breathing. As for fire-style chakra mode, this technique is extremely difficult to practice, and it is recommended that Jonin learn it as long as they have strength. After hearing Uchiha Huangguo's suggestion, Uchiha Yunlong thought about it seriously and said, fire breathing is fine to learn from a young age, but full concentration breathing does not have to be absolutely limited to this. Not to mention that the genius of the family can learn it in advance. The training method of blowing the gourd can also be practiced from a young age. Blowing the gourd can improve lung capacity. You must know that the strength of lung capacity also has a great impact on the power of fire-style ninjutsu. As he said, Uchiha Yunlong lamented that such a wonderful practice method had never been thought of before. So, what kind of reward does Huangguo want from the family? Such a contribution must be rewarded enough. This, the family's reward? Uchiha Huangguo pondered in his heart, wondering whether the family's ninjutsu secrets were needed. Fire-style ninjutsu is needless to say. Huangguo has developed many more practical secret techniques, and the demand for fire-style ninjutsu is not so strong. In this battle of Kikyo Castle, Huangguo preferred to kill the enemy with swordsmanship, which is why he got the name of the fiery sword. There is no need to consider the ninjutsu of various attributes. The sealing techniques and medical ninjutsu owned by the family have been learned almost. Maybe it would be good to deepen the study of Sherinan illusions. In the past, Huangguo did not take Sherinan illusions very seriously, thinking that the notes left by his father were enough. But this battle of Kikyo Castle made Huangguo realize the excellence of Sherinan illusions. It is indeed necessary to take it seriously and study Sharingan illusions or ordinary illusions. I want to learn the knowledge of Sharingan illusions and ordinary illusions. I almost forgot that Huang Huo awakened Sharingan, and he had 2 Megatama as soon as he opened his eyes. This kind of blood talent can be said to be the genius of the family. Knowledge of Sharingan illusion and ordinary illusion? That's no problem. Uchiha Yunlong said that Huang Huo really needed to learn illusion knowledge, and immediately called his trusted clansman to bring what Huang Huo needed. Huang Huo, do you want anything else? It's just that illusion knowledge is not enough. Facing the inquiry of the great elder, Uchiha Huang Huo thought about it for a while and was about to shake his head, but suddenly his eyes lit up. Elder Yunlong, you also know that I have a lot of demand for ninja ducks. Can you give me a discount? You know, I buy a lot of ninja ducks every time. Uchiha Huang Huo's ninja ducks start at 1,000 each time, so a discount would save a lot of money. Discount on ninja ducks? This is not appropriate. Looking at Uchiha Huang Huo with a sneer, Uchiha Yunlong smiled. In this way, the family can reward Arakawa with 10,000 ninja ducks. In Uchiha Yunlong's mind, if Arakawa is given a discounted reward, it would be fine if only Arakawa himself buys it. Maybe others will buy ninja ducks in the name of Arakawa, which will damage the interests of the family over time. If Arakawa compromises for face or friendship, this matter must be considered carefully. 10,000 ninja ducks? Well, it's better than nothing. After Uchiha Yunlong's preaching, Arakawa did not continue to force it. After all, he was not short of money. Besides, 10,000 ninja ducks would be enough to eat for a long time. Uchiha Yunlong contacted the clan leader and elders for a meeting, but Uchiha Arakawa walked out of the clan and went to the Hokage building. You should know that the Hokage building still has a reward that has not been collected. Third Hokage, Shinin Uchiha Arakawa is here to collect the reward. Uchiha Arakawa successfully entered the Hokage building and came to the Hokage office. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Uchiha Huang Huo's eyes lit up, thinking that he finally met this Uchiha that he had been paying attention to for a long time, so he planned to test Huang Huo's fire will to see if it was qualified. Huang Huo, you are still a disciple of Orochimaru, so you are my grand disciple. First, they established a relationship, and then Uchiha Huang Huo enjoyed Sarutobi Hiruzen's fire will theory class. Uchiha Huang Huo frowned, and interrupted Sarutobi Hiruzen before he could say a few more words to remind him again. Hokage-sama, I'm here to receive the reward. To be honest, Uchiha Huang Huo had wanted to pretend to be with Sarutobi Hiruzen and superficially agree with the fire will or something, but after thinking about it, Uchiha Huang Huo thought that this was not a good way to do it. You know, although the brainwashing method of the fire will is inferior, you can't tell when it will be affected. Huang Huo in his previous life has heard many examples, and those who think they are smart will inevitably be brainwashed. Huang Huo didn't want to put himself in the danger of being brainwashed. Besides, Huang Huo now has a certain power to decide his own fate, so he doesn't need to play a trick with Sarutobi Hiruzen. The theory class of the Will of Fire was interrupted, and Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was slightly solemn. It seems that Huang Huo's Will of Fire is too shallow. Even under the leadership of Orochimaru, it didn't increase much. After all, he is still a stubborn Uchiha. I am naive. People with a strong Will of Fire like Uchiha Kagami are rare in the Uchiha clan. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen has already classified Uchiha Huang Huo as an irredeemable Uchiha. I remember Kagami's descendant, Uchiha Shisui, should be 5 years old now. I heard that he has excellent ninja talent. I hope Shisui will inherit Kagami's Will of Fire. Uchiha Obito from Minato's class should have a lot of Will of Fire. He should be a Uchiha clan member who can be won over. Thinking of the young Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Obito who is still confronting Cloud Shinobi at the border. I hope that the Uchiha clan will give birth to more heirs of the Will of Fire who are peace-loving. After thinking for a long time, he looked up and saw Uchiha Arakawa who was still waiting, and Sarutobi Hiruzen resumed his gentle smile. Sorry, Arakawa, maybe I'm too old, I was stunned for a long time just now. According to Arakawa's achievements, you can have a chance to learn the S-level ninjutsu of the sealed book. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately wrote down the Hokage's warrant and handed it to Uchiha Arakawa. Araka, take this Hokage warrant and go to the ninjutsu room to get S-level ninjutsu. Uchiha Araka took the Hokage warrant without saying a word and said goodbye. By the way, Araka, with your strength, you are still under Orochimaru. Do you want to come to Umbu? Join Umbu? I'm not interested. Uchiha Araka closed the door and left immediately after saying that. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately smoked his pipe solemnly, and sighed leisurely in the smoke. Is that so? This Uchiha Araka is really hopeless, but such an excellent talent cannot be left alone. Uchiha Araka ignored Sarutobi Hiruzen's attitude and thoughts, and wanted him to join Umbu? How is this possible? If it weren't for the wrong timing, Konoha Shinobi would have given up his identity. After receiving the Hokage warrant, he found the ninjutsu room in the Hokage building. After seeing the densely packed ninjutsu scrolls, he came to the place where the sealed book was stored. Generally speaking, Sarutobi Hiruzen will introduce these secrets of the sealed book to the Konoha shinobi, and will also recommend appropriate secrets to the Konoha shinobi. You should know that the advice of the Hokage is very important to ordinary ninjas, but Uchiha Huangwo was disliked by Sarutobi Hiruzen, so he lost this benefit. Huangwo did not need Sarutobi Hiruzen's advice and read the secret catalog of the sealed book. I want S-level secrets, super strength. The Hokage handed the warrant to the Konoha shinobi guarding the ninjutsu room, and immediately selected the required secrets. This Konoha shinobi unsealed the super strength secret. Chunin Huangwo, remember this technique within 3 hours. The secrets of the sealed book will not be recorded and taken away by others. Uchiha Huangwo calmly opened the Sharingan and quickly memorized the super strength secret with the power of the Sharingan. It only took 10 minutes to completely memorize the super strength secret. The guarding ninja reminded that this technique was not allowed to be passed on to others, so Uchiha Huangwo left the Hokage building and returned home. Looking at the secret techniques in the sealed book, Flying Thunder God technique, Spiritualization technique, Impure World Reincarnation and the like are all good, but Flying Thunder God technique and Spiritualization technique require corresponding talents, and Impure World Reincarnation has not yet experienced the perfection of Orochimaru, so it is useless to learn it. As for the sealing technique, you can learn it from Orochimaru, so there is no need to waste an opportunity. After thinking about it, Uchiha Huangwo aimed at 100 Healings Mark and the Strange Power Secret technique. The 100 Healings Mark can store chakra, maintain the face unchanged, and cooperate with medical ninjutsu to strengthen the body's repair power. The Super Strength Secret technique can make the ninja gather terrifying power and kill the ninja in one punch and one kick. My chakra amount is as much as 16 cards, almost 17 cards, and will continue to increase in the future. It can be said that chakra is very sufficient. The full concentration breathing mode also has a certain body repair power. In addition to medical ninjutsu, it can show a certain self-healing power, so there is no need to waste the opportunity to learn the 100 Healings Mark in a short time. So Uchiha Huangwo gave up the 100 Healings Mark first, and planned to learn this technique if he made meritorious deeds again or other opportunities appeared in the future. This 100 Healings Mark is also very useful, and it is impossible to give it up completely. Speaking of super strength secret techniques, Uchiha Huangwo's fire breathing can also show extremely strong power when it bursts out with all its strength. Then the power addition of super strength and fire breathing will form a more terrifying power. The essence of this strange power secret technique is to use the ultimate chakra control power to stimulate cells to condense the ultimate power. However, such condensed power will also cause certain damage to the caster himself, so the self-healing power of the 100 Healings Mark will take effect to repair the wound. My fire-breathing full concentration breathing mode's body repair power and the medical ninjutsu Yinzhang Yumi's cooperation, the body's self-healing power is also excellent, and can repair the injuries caused by releasing strange power. Standing in the training ground at home, recalling the key points of the strange power secret technique. Speaking of this strange power secret technique and healing techniques, healing jutsu and other medical ninjutsu, the principle is to stimulate cells with chakra, but the form of expression is different. Medical ninjutsu focuses on accelerating cell division to treat physical injuries. The strange power secret technique focuses on stimulating the vitality of cells, condensing the power of countless cells in the body, and forming a terrifying huge force. But whether it is medical ninjutsu or strange power secret technique, ultimate chakra control is indispensable. The most important thing Uchiha Huangwo lacks is chakra control. At this moment, he concentrated his mind and calmed his breath, put his right fist at his waist, and condensed his right fist. The next second, he suddenly opened his eyes and smashed his right fist forward. There was a loud explosion, and a violent storm rushed 10 meters away. This storm was like a D-level wind-style ninjutsu, which shows the horror of the strange power secret technique. Is this the power of the strange power secret technique? It really didn't disappoint me. It's just that the amount of chakra used when performing the strange power needs to be adjusted. Uchiha Huangwo was very satisfied with the power of the strange power secret technique, and was very happy that he succeeded in practicing this technique for the first time. He opened the Sharingan and observed the right fist that used the strange power secret technique, and found that the cells did have some damage, but this little injury did not need to be treated by Yinzhang Yumi, and the body's repair power in the full concentration breathing mode could solve it. I saw with my own eyes that the cell injury healed in just 2 breaths. This shows that the strange power secret technique can become Uchiha Huangwo's regular power. In order to accurately locate the chakra consumption problem of this technique, Huanghuo continued to practice this secret technique seriously. After training the super strength for about 2 hours, Uchiha Huanghuo has accurately mastered the chakra consumption problem of this technique. Then the next step is to combine super strength with swordsmanship. Swordsmanship is my common means of fighting against enemies. It's just that we have to solve a problem before that, the guy who's watching me. Today, Huanghuo always felt a sense of being watched for no apparent reason. I thought it was the telescope technique of the third Hokage, but then I thought of the barrier of the family land, which cannot be observed by ordinary perception secrets, so it's not the third Hokage. Speaking of which, Master Madara is still relying on intravenous drips to survive, so am I one of Master Madara's heirs? So the one who's watching me should be White Zetsu. Now that I think about it, it's highly likely that White Zetsu hasn't been watching me since today, but has been watching me for a long time. Uchiha Huanghuo thought of the feeling of being watched that often occurred when he was at the border Kikyo Castle, and he had attracted other people's attention in the name of the fiery sword. However, Uchiha Huanghuo used thermal perception and thermal imaging, but he couldn't find White Zetsu. The feeling of being watched was still there, indicating that the perception secrets of thermal perception and thermal imaging were ineffective against White Zetsu. I think it's not ineffective, but White Zetsu is too different from human bodies, and the temperature between the two is also different. Whether it is White Zetsu, the product of infinite Tsukuyomi, or White Zetsu made by Uchiha Madara using Hashirama cells, it can be called a biological weapon. The body composition is also too different from that of humans, but it is very similar to the composition of plants. Then we must adjust the perceived temperature. White Zetsu is more similar to the composition of trees, so we must reduce the perceived temperature to below 30 degrees Celsius. Considering that White Zetsu is ultimately transformed from humans, the temperature does not need to be adjusted too low, and a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius is fine. The power of the heat fruit, with 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, thermal perception. The temperature perception within 100 meters spread in this second, and finally found a human figure underground in the corner of the training ground. There is no doubt that this is White Zetsu. After finding the trace of White Zetsu, Uchiha Huanghuo also made a prompt decision, pulled out the samurai sword with his right hand, released the power of fire instant body in one shaped round dance, and the White Zetsu was beheaded on the spot. This White Zetsu was still observing Uchiha Huanghuo, sighing at Huanghuo's excellent talent, and decided to continue to persuade Lord Madara to choose Huanghuo as his successor. But he didn't expect that the next second, the high-temperature flame knife flashed, and White Zetsu's head flew into the sky. Ha! How did Huanghuo find me? After extinguishing the flame, Uchiha Huanghuo looked at this pale body. Sure enough, it was White Zetsu who was monitoring me. Since White Zetsu was monitoring me, I guess many people in the Uchiha clan were also monitored by White Zetsu. Let me see if it's as I guessed. Then fire-style chakra mode, thermal imaging. I saw Huanghuo suddenly enter fire-style chakra mode, and the perception secret technique of thermal imaging immediately bloomed. His eyes glowed slightly red, and all creatures within a kilometer radius of 20 to 30 degrees Celsius were imaged. The first White Zetsu, that direction and distance, that is Uchiha Zufeng's home. The second White Zetsu, it's at Uchiha Taihuo's home. The third one, wait, these White Zetsu clones are monitoring the outstanding members of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Huanghuo felt helpless. It seemed that the White Zetsu clones regarded the Uchiha clan's land as their home. After a little thought, Uchiha Wildfire decided not to kill these White Zetsu first. It might arouse Uchiha Madara's suspicion. Now Uchiha Wildfire only needs to show a certain degree of perception to make others believe that Wildfire has a strong sense of visual observation. You must know that Uchiha Wildfire is still in the stage of strengthening its strength. It would be bad to anger Uchiha Madara in advance. Now that it has shown a strong perception, it will be good to prevent White Zetsu from monitoring so recklessly. Uchiha Wildfire can refuse Sarutobi Hiruzen's solicitation, but it cannot ignore Uchiha Madara. Then what should we do with this White Zetsu? Should we destroy the body or give it as a gift to Orochimaru? Uchiha Wildfire believes that Orochimaru must like creatures like White Zetsu very much. White Zetsu's strength is low, but he can use the inferior wood style power. Wood style is of great significance to Konoha and the ninja world. Orochimaru may use it to reproduce wood style. Although the final copied wood style power can only reach the level of Yamato wood style, it can also be regarded as wood style power. Calculating the time, it seems that Konoha's wood style plan is about to begin. However, transplanting Hashirama cells is much more difficult than White Zetsu cells. If Orochimaru is given White Zetsu cells, Konoha will surely have more wood style ninjas. Uchiha Huanghuo thought so, and used Sharingan to observe White Zetsu's body and diverged his thoughts. Speaking of which, this White Zetsu is similar to a tree in all other aspects except that it looks like a human figure. The unknown liquid flowing from the wound is considered blood. Wait, this White Zetsu is similar to a tree, so does White Zetsu have some of the effects of trees? But he thought of detonating talismans and ninja scrolls, both of which are made from a tree containing chakra. White Zetsu contains chakra and is similar to the composition of trees. Perhaps White Zetsu can be used as a raw material to make the required detonating talismans or ninja scrolls. Let's not talk about detonating talismans, just talk about ninja scrolls. Primary quality scrolls also cost 1,000 taels, intermediate quality scrolls cost several thousand taels, and high quality scrolls are even more expensive, at least 10,000 taels. For example, the last time Uchiha Wildfire bought 9 primary quality ninja scrolls to store 2,700 ninja beast ducks, it cost 9,000 taels, and this was a discount given by the family. This kind of ninja scroll becomes waste paper after use, so it can be considered a consumable. It's okay to give it a try, but how to deal with the raw materials and how to make a ninja scroll? Should I go to ask the great elder Uchiha Yunlong for the production process of the ninja scroll? But then I thought that Uchiha Yunlong must be dealing with the 3 secret techniques of breath of fire, full concentration breathing and fire style chakra mode, and he should have a meeting with the clan leader and elders, so I won't bother him. I think Orikimura teacher should also have the technology of ninja scrolls. In Uchiha Huangguo's opinion, Orikimura claimed to learn all the ninjutsu in the ninja world, so he must spend some time to learn the technology of ninja scrolls. Thinking of this, Uchiha Huangguo found a scroll to seal the body of White Zetsu, and then walked out of the family land to find Orikimura. Sure enough, Orikimura was in the laboratory, and Uchiha Huangguo told him the purpose of his visit. Want to learn about the technology of the Genin scroll? That's no problem. Orikimura fulfilled his disciple's wish and searched in the laboratory, and found the knowledge and technology that Uchiha Huangguo needed. What a strong and vigorous vitality, what is such a terrifyingly active cell? Just as Orikimura was looking for the scroll technology, Uchiha Huangguo looked at the substance under the microscope. Such a terrifying vitality, in today's ninja world, in Uchiha Huangguo's impression, is only Hashirama cells. Uchiha Huangguo's slight guess was confirmed by Orikimura. This is Hashirama cells, the cells of first Hokage Senju Hashirama. This person has been dead for so many years, and the cells left behind still have shocking vitality. Orikimura also talked about the wood-style plan, saying that the village is still preparing resources and will start the Hashirama cell transplantation plan in the near future. The wood-style project is a secret of Konoha, and Orikimura teacher actually told me like this? Haha, teacher thinks that Huang Huo and I are the same kind of people, such a good research project must be shared. It can be foreseen that the research on Hashirama cells has a bright future. Do Huang Huo want to join this project? Hearing Orikimura's invitation, Uchiha Huang Huo only thought for a few seconds and agreed. It's just that Huang Huo will ask Shadow Clone to participate in the wood-style project, and the main body still needs to practice and do other important things. Orikimura also said that there is no problem with this. Uchiha Huang Huo thought in his heart, let's study Hashirama cells with teacher Orikimura first, and if the research is almost the same or there is no progress, then capture White Zetsu and hand it over to Orikimura. A shadow clone was assigned on the spot to learn about Hashirama cells, and the main body immediately returned home. After returning home, Uchiha Huang Huo did not find the new White Zetsu at home with thermal perception. Considering that there will be other White Zetsu snooping, he set up a 3-layer sealing barrier for the whole family. The first barrier from inside to outside changed the seal pattern to prevent White Zetsu from sneaking in and snooping. The second barrier isolates the sound transmission, so that even people outside the door cannot hear the sound in the house. This is for training considerations. If the training is too noisy, such as the use of strange power secrets, it will be discovered by others. The third barrier is specially strengthened to prevent the defense, and the barrier that can intercept S-level ninjutsu is safe and worry-free. The only worry is the reaction of the family, so I can also say that I am learning the seal barrier. Thinking of this, I took out the scroll technical knowledge given by Orikimura teacher to read. After reading it, I suddenly realized it and immediately started to try it. The first step is to make the raw materials into suitable paper, which is similar to paper making. The power of the heat-hot fruit accelerated this process, and it took only 1 hour to make the body of White Zetsu into suitable paper. Carefully observed the White Zetsu version of paper and found that all the data were qualified. It took another hour to make 10 scrolls. Holding the newly made scroll, Uchiha Huangguo Sherinan carefully observed it. This is undoubtedly a high-quality scroll. It seems that White Zetsu is indeed an extremely excellent raw material. For such a high-quality scroll, Uchiha Huangguo believes that many people will buy it for 30,000 taels. Just this one high-quality scroll can store more than 10,000 ninja beast ducks. Uchiha Huangguo made 16 exploding talismans out of the remaining White Zetsu paper. After lighting one exploding talisman, he found that the explosive power was more than 3 times stronger than that of an ordinary exploding talisman. If this White Zetsu paper was released to the world, countless people would go crazy. Even now, Uchiha Huangguo has the idea of capturing all of Konoha's White Fang Ju. This idea made all of Konoha's underground White Zetsu feel a lot colder, wondering why the temperature suddenly turned cold. When Huangguo restrained this idea, the White Zetsu returned to normal. It would be too much of a fuss to capture the White Zetsu now, and it would not be too late to capture the White Zetsu after this batch of scrolls were used up. After putting away these White Zetsu paper scrolls, Uchiha Huangguo suddenly thought that the scrolls were still a little troublesome to carry. It would be great if I could have a space equipment, such as a space ring or a space bracelet, but this is the ninja world, how could such space equipment appear? You should know that the space equipment that Huang Huo wants is generally a cheat for the protagonist of the apocalypse or period literature, and it is impossible even if you want it blindly. Cultivators who are good at refining equipment can indeed refine such space equipment, but there is no corresponding refining method or suitable materials in the ninja world, so there is no need to think too much. It seems that the possibility of realizing space equipment in the ninja world is not small. Sealing techniques, corresponding raw materials, and a thorough understanding of the power of space should be able to make such space equipment, right? For example, Tailed Beast Chakra, Gadu statue, the Star of the Star Ninja Village, and the Grayer Stone that appeared in the movie version, etc. These are all excellent raw materials, and perhaps we can find something suitable for space equipment. The difference between scrolls and space equipment is that scrolls become waste paper after one use, while space equipment can be reused countless times. Uchiha Huangguo understood the essence of sealing techniques. If he had the right raw materials and spent enough time, he should be able to complete this idea. However, Gadu's statue and gray stone are difficult to obtain. The Star of the Star Ninja Village, which is easier to obtain, is not stable in Bear Country now. In the current situation of the Ninja World War, it is not safe to go to Bear Country. According to Uchiha Huangguo's prediction, gray stone is most likely on the seashore of River Country, but the exact location is unknown. However, River Country is now occupied by Sand Shinobi soldiers, and Sand Shinobi has fought several wars with Konoha Shinobi. Under such circumstances, Uchiha Huangguo will undoubtedly be besieged by Sand Shinobi if he wants to go to River Country. The white Zetsu version of the scroll is enough for now. Wait until the required raw materials are found in the future before considering researching space equipment. Time passed, and it was 3 days later. These days, Uchiha Huangguo mainly practiced the strange power secret technique and integrated this technique into swordsmanship. In order to hide the noise of the training, 2 layers of reinforced defense barrier and 1 layer of sound isolation barrier were added from the inside to the outside. Every day, a shadow clone was sent to find Orochimaru to study Hashirama cells. Shadow clone not only knows about Hashirama's cells, but also learns about the situation of the Ninja World War from Orochimaru. Seeing that they can't get any benefit from the Fire Country, Sand Shinobi turns to invade the Bird Country to plunder, and finally invades the Rain Country, and somehow clashes with Rock Shinobi. The Konoha Shinobi led by Mitarashi and the Mist Shinobi soldiers confronted each other in the Whirlpool Country, and the third Mizukage actually sent another Mist Shinobi to the Soup Country to kill Cloud Shinobi on sight. This angered Cloud Shinobi, and Cloud Shinobi certainly wouldn't tolerate the Mist Shinobi, so he gave up the enemy Konoha Shinobi and turned to fight the Mist Shinobi. There is no doubt that most of this Mist Shinobi soldier are also ninjas from the Bloodline Limit family. This shows the third Mizukage's hatred for people with bloodline limits, and he blatantly sent these people to die. But the Mist ninjas on the border of the Land of Whirlpools are still attacking the Land of Fire every day, so Mitarashi and his group of Konoha Shinobi are not safe at all. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not move the border troops fighting the Mist ninjas. Seeing that the Konoha Shinobi such as Jiraiya who were fighting the Cloud Shinobi had been at peace for many days, he sent Sarutobi Kara as the commander to lead 1,000 Konoha Shinobi to change the defense. I think the Konoha Shinobi of Jiraiya can return to the village tomorrow. At the Uchiha clan meeting tonight, the great elder Uchiha Yunlong announced the fire breathing and full concentration breathing that the clan members can learn, but did not mention the fire style chakra mode. In the past 3 days, the clan leader Uchiha Fugaku, 3 elders, and excellent clan members such as Uchiha Yashiro have learned the fire breathing, but the slightly more difficult full concentration breathing time is too short to learn, not to mention the more difficult fire style chakra mode. By the way, after the discussion between the clan leader and the 3 elders, and after asking Uchiha Huangguo for his opinion, they decided to classify fire breathing as a B-level secret technique, full concentration breathing as A-level, and fire style chakra mode as S-level. All clan members can learn fire breathing, and if they meet the standards, they can receive the practice method of full concentration breathing. Huangguo, you come and practice the power of fire breathing, so that the clan members can see the power of this secret technique. Uchiha Yunlong still did not mention fire style chakra mode. This high difficulty secret technique is difficult to practice even for Jonin or Cage level. Of course, if a clan member who meets the conditions for learning the secret technique appears, Uchiha Yunlong will not sit idly by. Uchiha Huangguo held a samurai sword and demonstrated the swordsmanship of fire breathing, including the swordsmanship of the Uchiha style. This high-temperature flame sword amazed all the Uchiha clan members present, and they had more expectations for fire breathing. Learning the breath of fire strengthens the body or the fire attribute chakra, so it will enhance the power of physical skills and fire-style ninjutsu in all aspects. It is not limited to the breath of fire swordsmanship I developed. Uchiha-style swordsmanship and Konoha-style swordsmanship are also applicable. Full concentration breathing is all-weather breathing of fire. It can be said that breathing will become stronger, and part of my strength comes from this. The only disadvantage is that it will increase the appetite. I can eat 30 ninja beast ducks in one meal. Elder Yunlong can prove this for me. Uchiha Huangguo introduced the advantages of breathing fire in detail, which immediately made the tribesmen more satisfied. The breath of fire developed by Arakawa is very suitable for our Uchiha clan. The breath of fire and fire-style ninjutsu are really compatible. After learning the breath of fire, the Uchiha Fire clan is more worthy of the name. What's the disadvantage of increased appetite? You know, the more a ninja eats, the stronger his body will be, which is also a manifestation of increased strength. Uchiha Arakawa is really an outstanding genius of the family. It seems that this person is the leader of the new generation. The family bloodline genius of Arakawa is also very good. It is said that he has awakened the Sharingan, and he has 2 Megatama as soon as he opens his eyes. At this moment, the tribe members praised Uchiha Huangwo, and the tribe leader Uchiha Fugaku gave him rewards, including Sharingan illusion and ordinary illusion knowledge, and rewarded him with 10,000 ninja beast ducks. The tribe leader also invited Uchiha Huangwo to go to the tribe school to explain the breathing of fire to the next generation of seedlings, and Uchiha Huangwo agreed to this. In short, a shadow clone can do it for him. The Uchiha tribe meeting ended successfully, and the next day Uchiha Huangwo was assigned a shadow clone to go to the tribe school. It was found that not only the Uchiha little guys were present, but also those tribe members who had become ninjas were there. I also saw powerful tribe members such as Uchiha Yashiro and Uchiha Inahim, and tribe members of the same generation as Huangwo such as Uchiha Taihuo and Uchiha Zufang also came. That is, Uchiha Obito has not returned to the village yet, otherwise this person would be indispensable. There are so many people in the clan. A quick glance shows that there are more than 800 of them. Fortunately, the family's training ground is large enough to accommodate so many people. Are all the ninjas in the clan here? Uchiha Huangwo thought about it and understood the reason. These clan members received the secret technique of breathing fire, so it is normal for them to want to learn from him, the developer of the secret technique. It is normal to drive a sheep or a flock of sheep, and it is normal to teach as many people as possible. Thinking this way, Uchiha Huangwo began to teach breathing fire. After 6 hours of teaching, about 100 Uchiha clan members have learned the breathing fire. This is 1/8 of the clan members, which is not a low proportion. Has Uchiha Shisui also learned the breathing fire? As expected, he is a Uchiha ninja who left his name in the original drama. His ninja talent is too excellent. Of course, if you want to use the breathing fire in actual combat after learning it, you must practice for a long time. I think it will take at least a week, at most a month, for all Uchiha ninjas to learn the breathing fire. This secret technique is easy to learn but difficult to master, not to mention that it is even more difficult to breathe with full concentration. Uchiha Huanghuo just sighed in his heart when he saw Uchiha Shisui, and did not take the initiative to find this person to instill family ideas in him. For Huanghuo, the current Uchiha Shisui does not need to be taken seriously. Between Uchiha and Konoha, Uchiha Shisui does tend to Konoha, but he is not as extreme as Uchiha Itaki. Distinguished Heavenly God's pupil technique is indeed terrifying, but Huanghuo's mind is not unsolvable. That afternoon, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo performed the Sarafire group repentance again in the Hokage building. Shimura Danzo was very dissatisfied with Sarutobi Hiruzen for suddenly transferring him back from the battlefield in the Rain Country. If I had more time, I could have started a war between Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi. Damn monkey, you actually transferred me back to Konoha at such a critical moment. It can be said that Shimura Danzo was furious. If Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi had a dispute, then Konoha could have taken advantage of the situation to reap the benefits, but now such a precious opportunity has been wasted. In response, Sarutobi Hiruzen calmly stated that Konoha would never take the initiative to provoke a war. Konoha is a peace-loving village, denying all the contributions made by Shimura Danzo in this ninja world war. Shimura Danzo angrily criticized Sarutobi Hiruzen for hypocrisy. If you deny my approach, why did you send me to the Rain Country at the beginning of the war? Sarutobi Hiruzen was calm and composed. That was just to monitor the changes in the Rain Country. You must know that the main battlefield of the previous Ninja World War was the Rain Country, so of course we should pay attention to this place. Shimura Danzo was really impressed by Sarutobi Hiruzen's shamelessness. Thinking about the past, although Sarutobi Hiruzen was thick-skinned, he was not so shameless as to ignore his face for safety. Looking at Shimura Danzo, who was furious, Sarutobi Hiruzen mentioned the wood-style plan, the Hashirama cell transplantation plan, and made Shimura Danzo fully responsible for this matter. This was also a sweet treat for Shimura Danzo. Wood-style plan? I remember that Mr. Tobirama also studied Hashirama cells, but Hashirama cells are extremely active and have too strong erosion power on ordinary people's cells. So many human experiments have failed, and then the wood-style plan was sealed. Why, Hiruzen, you suddenly want to restart the wood-style plan? Shimura Danzo was puzzled. This wood-style plan was a plan that was determined to have failed, and restarting it again would only waste resources. My disciple Orochimaru is good at research, and Orochimaru's disciple Uchiha is good at biological technology. Based on the research data of Mr. Tobirama, we may succeed. I see, Orochimaru and Uchiha? Hearing the names of these two people, Shinura Danzo was thoughtful. Orochimaru's wisdom is unquestionable, and Uchiha is the first person to study edible ninja beasts. If you think about it carefully, the success probability of the wood-style plan is indeed not small if these two people work together. Thinking of the success of the wood-style plan, having subordinates of wood-style ninjas, or if he successfully transplanted Hashirama cells and obtained the power of wood-style, then he, Shinura Danzo, will be closer to the position of Hokage. Such a beautiful prospect. Shinura Danzo smiled as he thought about it, and this smile made Sarutobi Hiruzen look at him sideways. Next, Shinura Danzo accepted the task, thinking of discussing with Orochimaru first to see if Orochimaru had a new method. These days, Uchiha Wildfire's shadow clone and Orochimaru have studied Hashirama cells carefully, and initially tried it with mice. The mice were transplanted with Hashirama cells, and it only lasted for 10 seconds before it turned into a small sapling. No matter how many times they tried, they just added many small trees to the laboratory. Uchiha Wildfire thought that the wood-style plan would cause so many children to die tragically, and it was not that he was reluctant, but now Wildfire participated in the wood-style plan, so this evil may be partly attributed to him. Maybe Sarutobi Hiruzen and others will push all of them to Uchiha Wildfire. Uchiha is born evil, isn't this a good scapegoat? In addition to this, I also want to see what Hashirama cells can do. So Uchiha Huangwo thought carefully, recalled the knowledge of his past life, discussed with Orochimaru, and summarized 4 experimental plans for Hashirama cells. The first is the kind done in the original Hokage drama. Hashirama cells belong to the power of Yang escape, so you only need to find the representative of Yin escape, balance Yin and Yang, and you can complete the cell transplant. The second is cloning. There is no concept of cloning in the ninja world. Uchiha Huangwo explained that it can become a replica of Hashirama. You only need to activate Hashirama cells and cultivate them into replicas, then you can complete the wood-style plan. The third is similar to the edible ninja beast, which is the Hashirama bloodline ninja beast plan. Considering that animals are more fit than humans, some animals with strong adaptability are selected to transplant Hashirama cells. Form a ninja beast with Hashirama cell blood, suppress the spirit of the ninja beast, and then use sealing techniques to simulate the tailed beast Jinchuriki, forming a Jinchuriki of Hashirama blood ninja beast, so that the power of the ninja beast can be used, and it is not difficult to release with style. The fourth type is the biological armor of Hashirama cells, which uses various means such as sealing techniques to make biological equipment with Hashirama cells as raw materials, and can indirectly use wood-style ninjutsu. These ingenious suggestions amazed Orochimaru, who said he had made the right choice and was even more certain that Uchiha Huangwo was the same kind of person as him. Shinura Danzo came to the laboratory and heard about the 4 wood-style plans of Orochimaru and Uchiha Huangwo. 4 options? It seems that the wood-style plan is likely to succeed this time. The first option requires the power of Yin-dun. If we talk about the power of Yin-dun in the ninja world, we have to talk about Sharingan. Since Uchiha Huanghuo mentioned the power of Yin-dun, I think he will not object to using Sharingan for experiments. As expected, Uchiha, who was born evil, can even use the blood of his own family without regard. But Konoha's Sharingan inventory is not much now. Under the eyes of Uchiha Huanghuo, it is not easy to use all means to seize new Sharingan. You can also try to find Yin-dun power other than Sharingan. Shinura Danzo pondered for a while and made a decisive decision: balance Yin and Yang, clone replication, bloodline ninja beast, biological armor. None of these 4 options can be abandoned. They must be implemented together. Uchiha Huanghuo and Orochimaru both had an expected expression on their faces. Hehe, Master Danzo, if we really want to complete these 4 plans together, the resources required are not few. Orochimaru, don't worry about the experimental resources. The root ninja will fully cooperate. Just complete the research as soon as possible. Konoha urgently needs the power of wood-style. Shinura Danzo promised to support the research with all his strength, but in his heart he was thinking about getting more funds from Sarutobi Hiruzen later. Sarutobi Hiruzen in the Hokage building was thinking with a complete method of practicing fire breathing. Not long after the Uchiha clan announced the fire breathing that the clan members could learn, it was known by the 3rd Hokage. It can be seen that there are indeed many members of the Uchiha clan who are devoted to Konoha. It's just that the learning method of the full concentration breathing has not been circulated, so Sarutobi Hiruzen has no way of knowing it, let alone the fire-style chakra mode. Breathing of fire? This is undoubtedly a secret technique that combines the breathing method of the samurai and chakra. Such a brilliant idea. Uchiha Huangwo is really a genius. With Sarutobi Hiruzen's knowledge, he naturally understood the essence of breathing of fire. With a little thought, he knew how terrifying the addition of breathing of fire to fire-style ninjutsu was. This time Uchiha's strength has increased again, and it may cause a greater conflict between Uchiha and Konoha. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen was still pretending to worry about the change in the relationship between Uchiha and Konoha. Thinking about how to limit the development of Uchiha, the current war in the ninja world will never allow Uchiha to make new contributions. It's useless for me to learn this single fire breathing. My 5 attribute ninjutsu is very balanced. If I learn the fire breathing that only enhances fire style ninjutsu, it might reduce my strength. The breathing method of the samurai? Maybe I can also develop a breathing method that suits me. The next day, the Konoha shinobi soldiers led by Jiraiya returned to Konoha, and the people of Konoha once again warmly welcomed the returning heroes at the gate. The banners on both sides of the road made the returning Konoha shinobi very happy. This kind of Konoha national event, Orochimaru and all the ninjas of the 8th team appeared in person, which was rare. Orochimaru thought, Jiraiya, it's rare to see him so serious. Advertisement. Anko sighed, this scene seems like yesterday, it feels so good to be a hero. Hayaga Fuyako said coldly, why? Anko, do you want to walk this road again? Uchiha Huangguo saw Uchiha Obito grinning and Namikaze Minato, whose smile was like a little sun. Uzumaki Kushina on the side of the road also cheered Namikaze Minato's name exaggeratedly. Before leaving, Anko asked Orochimaru, Teacher Orochimaru, I'm too idle these days. When are we going to do the mission? Orochimaru touched Anko's little head and smiled and said, sorry, I'm too busy these days. If Anko and Fuyako are bored, I can send a shadow clone to train you every day. Uchiha Huangguo glanced at Anko, is it so boring? Then tomorrow I can also let my shadow clone take you to accept D-level missions, so that you won't be bored when you are busy. Anko immediately refused firmly, D-level mission? Isn't that more boring? It's better to train with Orochimaru's shadow clone. It's always good to strengthen your strength. Anko really had enough of the D-level missions of clearing rivers, pulling weeds, catching cats, and walking dogs. Even Hayaga Fuyako refused. On this day, Uchiha Huangguo's classmates in the ninja school had a barbecue party. Uchiha Obito talked about his battlefield career, saying that he killed countless enemies and made great contributions to Konoha. However, when he was talking excitedly, he was ridiculed by Heite Kakashi. Uchiha Obito, whose lie was exposed, was furious and shouted that he would make Heite Kakashi look bad. It was the gentle Nohara Rin who calmed down the irritable Obito. Speaking of which, the strongest ninjas of our generation are Heite Kakashi and Uchiha Urakashi, right? Sarutobi Asuma suddenly sighed, and everyone looked at Kakashi and Urakashi who were mentioned. Kakashi graduated at the age of 5 and became a Chunin at the age of 6. Such excellent talent is well known in Konoha. As for Urakashi, he killed hundreds of enemies in the Battle of Kikyo Castle and also killed a powerful Scorch-style ninja. He was promoted to Chunin for this record. Konoha's little white fang Kakashi, Konoha's fiery sword Urakashi, this name is well known in the ninja world. Compared with these two people, we are just here to make up the numbers. This Sarutobi Asuma thought of the year when Heite Kakashi became a genin, and wanted to ask the old man to graduate early, but was severely criticized by the old man. Shiranui Genma, let's not compare ordinary people like us with geniuses, that is undoubtedly asking for trouble. Many people agreed with this statement. Who would have nothing to do and compete with genius ninjas? But the next second, these people were slapped in the face. Might Guy suddenly cried out with tears, damn it, I will never give up my youth. Kakashi, my lifelong rival. I will definitely work harder to catch up with Kakashi. Everyone present was speechless. Obito looked at Heite Kakashi with a little pity. Kakashi, you are really tired of being entangled by such a person. But Obito's eyes flashed with a bit of gloating, which was captured by Kakashi's keenness. Guy, I support you, Guy must defeat Kakashi. What is the genius Kakashi? I think Might Guy will definitely become the strongest ninja in the ninja world. It seems that there are many people who support Might Guy, but most of these people are just fanning the flames and want to watch the show. By the way, Wang Huo, I heard that you awakened Sharinan. Can you tell me about your experience of awakening Sharinan? Is it about Sharinan? Uchiha Huang Huo looked at Uchiha Obito who was expectant, thought for a while and said, it should be the determination to protect teammates. When teammates are in danger, the potential bursts in Sharinan is awakened. The determination to protect teammates? Faced with Obito's doubts, Huang Huo glanced at Nohara Rin who was smiling gently. For example, Nohara Rin was in danger and was chased by a hostile ninja. When she was only one breath left, Obito must want to rescue Nohara Rin, right? With such potential bursting, the will to protect is extremely firm, and the power of blood will be awakened, and Sharinan will awaken in accordance with the call of the inner will. Obito listened to Wang Huo's story, thought about it and shook his head immediately. It's good to awaken Sharinan by protecting Lin, but I really don't want to see Lin in danger. If it's Kakashi, well, I don't want to protect this hateful guy Kakashi. Heite Kakashi glared and said unhappily, get lost, if it's Obito's turn to protect me, I'd rather die. Hee, these two are all guys who say one thing and mean another. Many people at the scene thought so. Sarutobi Asuma thought the will to protect can also awaken Sharinan. How is this different from what the old man said? Sarutobi Hiruzen once told Sarutobi Asuma that the awakening of the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan would lead to the birth of tragedy. The more Megatama in the Sharingan, the more paranoid this person is. Is the old man wrong, or is Huang Wo lying? Sarutobi Asuma thought about it and had no clue, so he thought about it more. He picked up a piece of ninja beast duck meat with chopsticks and enjoyed the delicacy. It can be said that this party was perfect. Everyone was very happy to eat and drink well. Early June of the 46th year of Konoha. On this day, Uchiha Huangwo completed a night of great sun contemplation, and felt that his mental power and soul were strengthened a lot. This great sun contemplation is really suitable for me. It not only strengthens my mental power and soul, but also accelerates the strengthening of my body. The full concentration of the breathing of fire, the Sharingan, and the terrifying perception brought by the power of the heat hot fruit actually made Uchiha Huangwo perceive his own soul. The so-called Great Sun Contemplation is a Buddhist meditation method that Uchiha Huangwo learned from the ninja world, a Buddhist and Taoist meditation method that summarizes the memories of previous lives, and a visualization method created with the heat hot fruit as the root. Using the power of the heat hot fruit to simulate the visualization of the sun in the mind, starting from 800 degrees Celsius, it has increased to 1000 degrees Celsius now. It is called the Great Sun, but it is just a golden fireball. Every time I meditate, it seems that my soul is much more relaxed, or the shackles are removed, the soul will be tempered, the strength and purity of the soul will be improved, and the mental power will increase accordingly. In this way, the pupil power is also enhanced. After nearly a year of training in the Great Sun Contemplation method, Uchiha Uraha's 2 Magatama Sharingan has evolved to 3 Magatama, reaching the limit of ordinary Sharingan. With this steady and continuous increase in pupil power, Uchiha Uraha predicts that even Mangekyo Sharingan will be a natural outcome. This Great Sun Contemplation method not only strengthens the soul, but also the body. The strengthening of the soul drives the mental power, and the mental power is related to the formation of chakra. The increase in chakra indicates the strengthening of physical fitness. The stronger the body, the more concentrated the breathing of the fire breath, and the more food is eaten. This forms a perfect closed loop of strength strengthening. Now Uchiha Uraha's chakra volume has reached 20 calories, and the heat fruit has been developed to 4500 degrees Celsius. The original prediction of chakra volume was only about 18 calories, thanks to the auxiliary training of the Great Sun Contemplation method. Now Uraha can eat 33 ninja beast ducks for each meal. Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Yashiro and other outstanding clan members have mastered the full concentration breathing, but have made little progress in learning fire-style chakra mode. This Great Sun Contemplation method will not be passed on to the family. The current family strength has been improved enough, but the clan members' thoughts are not unified, and there are many clan members who are loyal to Konoha. Maybe I gave this secret method to the family 1 second ago, and Sarutobi Hiruzen received the complete Great Sun Contemplation method the next second. Let this visualization method become one of my trump cards, and the contribution to the family is enough. It will be good to keep the Uchiha from being exterminated next. In the end, Uchiha Huangwo did not tell others about the secret of the Great Sun Contemplation method. Perhaps when Uchiha Huangwo can unify the will of the family, he can teach the inferior version of the Great Sun Contemplation method. After eating the breakfast of 33 ninja beast ducks, I saw Uchiha Huangwo spreading his hands, a snarling fire dragon appeared in his left hand, and a flying phoenix appeared in his right hand. The fire dragon and the phoenix are all vivid, and they look like real life, whether in their eyes or body tissues. The input of chakra and the release of the power of the heat hot fruit make the appearance of the fire dragon and the phoenix more perfect. This is a new way for Uchiha Huangwo to exercise chakra control, which is a daily compulsory project. Next is the sword training. For a while, the training ground in Huangwo's home is full of swords, and the high-temperature flame swords wantonly chop and burn everything. In the laboratory of the wood-style project, Orochimaru and Huangwo's shadow clone are concentrating on observing the changes of the 3 experimental subjects. At first, Huangwo and Orochimaru set 4 experimental plans, but only 2 were realized. The cloning plan and the biological armor plan failed. The former did successfully clone the copies of Senju Hashirama, but it was finally found that these copies had no souls and would inevitably become big trees. Faced with such a situation, Huang Huo guessed, perhaps cloning is against the laws of nature and is not tolerated by heaven, so it will not be given a soul. Is that the reason? Does the law of nature exist in the ninja world? Orochimaru looked at the failed clone that turned into a tree and thought, since the clone has no soul, can I transfer the soul of someone else? If so, it would be immortality in a sense. Thinking of this, Orochimaru was extremely happy. This was a failure for the wood-style plan, but it was undoubtedly a success for his immortality plan. As Orochimaru's disciple, and with the memories of his previous life, Uchiha Huangwo understands Orochimaru's obsession with immortality. After experiencing the brutal ninja war, the death of his disciple Noeki and the death of countless teammates, Orochimaru realized the fragility of life, and the dream of all the knowledge of ninjutsu in the ninja world, thus formed the wish to achieve immortality. Does Orochimaru want to transfer his soul to these soulless clones? This can achieve a certain degree of longevity. I think there is a limit to the lifespan of ordinary people, so the human soul should also have a limit. Of course, the soul is much longer than the body. When the body reaches its limit, it will change the body and continue to live. This method is indeed very good. But this kind of clone body must retain a certain number of cells of the original body of the soul, which will make the clone and the soul more consistent. This method can also make people master all the bloodline limits of the ninja world. Orochimaru was happy to hear what Huang Huo said. Does Huang Huo also agree with this method of soul reincarnation? It's just that the limit of the soul's lifespan is a problem that I have never thought about before, and it is indeed time to think about it seriously. Orochimaru also wanted to continue studying cloning and replication, but the failure of the wood-style plan in this regard was decisively abandoned by Shimura Danzo. Orochimaru was so helpless that he could only record the detailed information and study it later. The failure of the second wood-style biological armor plan was first due to the fact that Konoha had no relevant technological accumulation. Even if the technological development of the ninja world is inexplicable and has unreasonable chakra power, it must still follow certain technological rules. This cannot be achieved overnight. Orochimaru now does not have as much knowledge as he will have in the future, and Uchiha Huangguo did not know much about this aspect in his previous life. However, according to the speculation of Orochimaru and Huangguo, it is believed that if enough scientific knowledge is accumulated, the wood-style plan of this biological armor will have a great probability of completion. However, the impatient Shimura Danzo did not have so much time to wait, so this plan was sealed after many failed attempts. 2 plans failed, but the remaining 2 plans succeeded. The Bloodline Ninja Beast and the balance of yin and yang, these 2 wood-style plans were successful, and relatively perfect products were born. When studying the Bloodline Ninja Beast, Orochimaru and Huangguo carefully selected and finally selected the parasite of the Abarame clan. Advertisement. First of all, the Abarame clan has a large number of parasites, which can be called inexhaustible, so there is no need to worry about the lack of experimental subjects. Parasites have strong adaptability and will evolve into suitable species according to the corresponding environment, such as the edible ninja beast parasite Omushi. Excellent Abarame ninjas often evolve parasites according to different enemies. Parasites have a short reproduction cycle. Under the stimulation of chakra, the growth cycle will be shorter, which can greatly reduce the time of the experiment. The intelligent soul of the insect is almost non-existent, which is very convenient for future control. Many excellent qualities of the parasites were eventually selected by Orochimaru and Huangguo as experimental objects. Although Huangguo wanted to use Katsuyu of the Wet Bone Forest for the experiment, Katsuyu was a summoning beast of Tsunade and it was difficult to obtain, and Katsuyu's own wisdom would not agree to be experimented. This cost tens of billions of parasites, making the Abarame ninja who came to help so heartbroken that he could hardly breathe, but in the end, 8 finished products were obtained. These 8 parasites contain Hashirama blood, which successfully stimulated the power of wood style, and suppressed their own mental power with the power of sealing and illusion. They became animals that only knew how to obey. A parasite with Hashirama blood was sealed into the body of a root ninja. This root ninja successfully released the wood-style ninjutsu. Although the power of this wood-style ninjutsu is not impressive, it is still an improvement, isn't it? In further research by Orochimaru and Huangguo, it was found that the Jinchuriki of this Hashirama brand parasite would undergo certain changes in its body according to the degree of power released by the bloodline ninjutsu. Using 10% of the power of the bloodline ninjutsu, the skin of the root ninja will turn slightly green. At 30% of the bloodline ninja power, the skin of the root ninja becomes greener and the eyes also turn green. At 50%, the root ninja's cheeks will have plant patterns and some tree marks will appear on the body surface. At 70% of the Hashirama bloodline ninja power, the root ninja's body will have more tree marks, and if he doesn't move, others won't be able to detect the sound of his heartbeat. At 90%, the root ninja has become a tree man, and this image reminds Huangguo of Groot in the Marvel world. Uchiha Huangguo speculated, when this Hashirama bloodline ninja beast Jinchuriki released 90% of the power of the bloodline ninja beast, if there is no interference from external forces, it will form an irreversible ending and will eventually become a tree man. So more seals must be reinforced so that the ninja beast Jinchuriki can use the power of each stage of wood style without causing rampage. It's just that I'm not sure whether this tree man still has the memory of the original ninja beast Jinchuriki. Orochimaru thought about it and couldn't be sure. Now that the wood style plan has finally produced results, the 6 bloodline ninja beast parasitic worms will be handed over, and 2 will be left for later attempts. Just like that, Orochimaru kept 2 Hashirama bloodline ninja beast parasitic worms, and the remaining 6 were all taken away by Shimura Danzo. The Hashirama bloodline ninja beast wood style plan was successful, so it was the turn of the wood style plan to balance yin and yang. Orochimaru and Arakagi wanted to experiment on animals first, but Shimura Danzo, who was anxious, said that there was no need to go through so much trouble and that human experiments should be conducted immediately. Orochimaru, Arakagi, don't worry about the test subjects. My root ninja will ensure that there are enough test subjects and will also make sure that the test subjects are willing. In this way, Shimura Danzo found a large number of test subjects, including ninjas from all Konoha who are good at yin-style ninjutsu, Yamanaka, Nara, Kurama and other yin-style ninjutsu ninjas, as well as many civilian ninjas who are good at illusion. Shimura Danzo also found many people who did not belong to this category, saying that it was for comparative experiments. So Tenzo finally reached his predetermined fate and became a wood-style ninja, but Tenzo's success model could not be replicated, which was an unexpected success. But the experiments of those ninjas such as Yamanaka and Nara all failed, and the final outcome of those people was to become a big tree. Shimura Danzo even found a Hyaga branch house and 2 Uchiha people who opened Sharingan. People from the Hyaga branch house also come to participate in the wood style plan? Is the Hyaga clan also interested in the power of wood style? Or did Shimura Danzo and the Hyaga clan get some kind of exchange of interests? Uchiha people will actually participate in this plan? These 2 Uchiha people don't seem to have much impression, but this attitude of dedicating their lives for Konoha, are they people who are loyal to Konoha? The so-called people who are loyal to Konoha, Uchiha Huangguo also got a little understanding. Most of these clan members are descendants of people who married into the Uchiha clan or people whose family women married out. If an Uchiha woman has not awakened the Sharingan, there is no restriction on whether she can marry out. However, if the descendants of people who married out awakened the Sharingan, they would be required to return to the clan and be given the name Uchiha. And the people who married are undoubtedly all heirs of the Will of Fire, and their descendants will identify more with Konoha and will inevitably be inclined to Konoha. The descendants of people who married into the Uchiha clan are also in a similar form, and their descendants will inevitably lean towards Konoha between Uchiha and Konoha. After all, parents are the first teachers of their children, and their children's thoughts will inevitably be similar to their parents. Hyaga Tianming, Uchiha Yude, Uchiha Yuji. The name of this person from the Hyaga branch house looks like the protagonist. Let's see if he has the protagonist's fate. These 2 people in the family, the names are really sloppy. Judging from the names, they are brothers. It's true. The records say they are twins, but they don't look alike, so they should be fraternal twins. Both are now 22 years old. They awakened Sharingan when they were 18 years old, but they have been practicing for more than 4 years, and they are only 2 Megatama Sharingan. It can be said that the blood talents of these 2 people are certain. The fact that they can awaken Sharingan proves this, but the blood talents are not much. Orochimaru and Huangguo knew the information of these 3 people, and began the experiment of this wood-style plan. The 3 people who were tied tightly were first injected with an unknown drug. Uchiha Yuji was puzzled. Is it starting now? I don't feel anything. Uchiha Huangguo said calmly that was just an anti-inflammatory and sterilizing agent. Don't worry, the experiment will start now. Then he injected the cell fusion solution and continued to inject the Hashirama cell solution. This time the effect was really immediate, and the 3 of them screamed in pain. Uchiha Yuji screamed in pain and said he would give up the experiment, but the experiment of the wood-style plan had already begun. Once the Hashirama cell solution was injected, there was no turning back. Hyaga Tianming opened his white eyes, and Yamato Yuji opened his Sharingan. After about 10 minutes, the Hashirama cells had merged into most of the 3 people's bodies. Judging from the data from the instrument, this experiment is likely to succeed. Advertisement. After another 8 or 9 minutes, the Hashirama cells began to occupy the brain. This was a difficult hurdle. If they passed this hurdle, it would mean that the Hashirama cells were successful. At this moment, the 3 of them had no consciousness, and they were tortured by the terrifying erosion of the Hashirama cells as if their souls had collapsed. Hyaga Tianming suddenly struggled hard, and the data of the instrument soared and became disordered. On Hyaga Tianming's forehead, the caged bird seal penetrated countless black liquids, and the white eyes were covered with countless bloodshot, as if they had become 2 red eyes. The next moment, Hyaga Tianming's eyes exploded, and a big tree quickly grew. Hyaga Tianming failed. It seems that even if this person took the name of the protagonist, he doesn't have the so-called protagonist's fate. Uchiha Huangguo sighed in his heart, indicating that the destiny is not in this person. Orochimaru was puzzled. It was obviously about to succeed. Why did it fail at the last minute? Is it the suppression of the caged bird seal? Or is the yin-dun power of the Hyaga clan not enough? Or is it both of these reasons? Uchiha Huangguo thought, the caged bird seal does play a certain role, so this method cannot be used by Hyaga Danzi. He also wanted to use Hashirama cells to destroy the power of the caged bird seal and let his teammate Hyaga Danzi gain freedom. Now that Branch House Hyaga's destiny has failed, it seems that we have to find another way. 3 minutes passed. Uchiha Yamato Uchiha Yuji suddenly burst out with a strong chakra wave, and Sharingan evolved from 2 Megatama to 3 Megatama. The signs of life were very stable, which undoubtedly showed that Yamato Yuji successfully fused Hashirama cells. So Sharingan is more suitable than the Byakugan to balance the yang escape power of Hashirama cells. Orochimaru and Huang Huo came to this conclusion at the same time. Orochimaru knew it from the wood-style experiment, while Huang Huo was more certain of this conclusion from the mutual verification of this experiment and the memory of the previous life. Now when Uchiha Yamato Uchiha Yuji woke up, he felt that his whole body was filled with endless power, as if he could kill Sage of 6 Paths with one punch. Yude, I feel my strength has improved, I can beat 10 of my past selves. Yuji, I think so too, huh? Yuji, your Sharingan has evolved to 3 Megatama. Really? So amazing. Yude, your Sharingan has also developed 3 Megatama. Then Uchiha Yude suddenly exerted force all over his body, and used brute force to break free from the restraints of the medical bed, and Uchiha Yuji also stood up after seeing this. Since the experiment was successful, I believe you too have the power of wood style, and you can try it now. Hearing Uchiha Huangwo's reminder, Uchiha Yude nodded, wood style ninjutsu? Let me try, wood style. A big tree suddenly grew on the ground in front of Uchiha Yude, and Uchiha Yuji also successfully summoned a big tree. Orochimaru and Huangwo took the opportunity to collect successful data. At this moment, Shimura Danzo was the first to receive the success of the experiment. What? 2 Uchiha succeeded? This wood style power must be in my hands. Shimura Danzo rushed over immediately and saw the scene of Yamato Yuji releasing the power of wood style. Thinking that it was successful, he immediately ordered Uchiha Yude, Uchiha Yuji, follow me, I will do my best to train you to become excellent wood style ninjas in Konoha. But Shimura Danzo didn't feel happy for long before he heard a familiar voice. Don't bother Danzo, I still have enough wood style ninjutsu in Konoha Hokage. I will train these 2 excellent Konoha shinobi myself. Sarutobi Hiruzen walked in with a big laugh and was greeted with Shimura Danzo's hateful eyes. Uchiha Yude and Uchiha Yuji were indeed ninjas who were loyal to Konoha. When they saw Sarutobi Hiruzen, they respectfully called him Third Hokage, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen even more satisfied. Hiruzen, this wood style ninja will only truly grow up if he follows me. Danzo, the style of the root ninja is not suitable for Uchiha and Yamato Yuji. These 2 are the heirs of the will of fire, and it is more appropriate for me, the Hokage, to train them. But, Hiruzen, you have to give me a wood style ninja. Hee, Danzo, don't be too greedy. Those 6 Hashirama bloodline ninja beasts and wood style Tenzo, aren't that enough? Why do you know? Are you spying on me? Shimura Danzo was very unwilling. Although he obtained 6 Hashirama bloodline ninja beasts and wood style Tenzo, there was no such thing as too many excellent seedlings like wood style ninja. He wanted to continue to fight for it, so he and Sarutobi Hiruzen performed the famous scene of the Sarafire group's regret on the spot. In the end, Shimura Danzo was defeated, and Sarutobi Hiruzen left with Uchiha and Yamato Uchiha with a smile on his face. Before leaving, he announced the end of the wood style project, sealed the experimental data on site, and would never allow the wood style project to be carried out again without the order of the Hokage. This made Shimura Danzo vomit blood, and he was still thinking about continuing the experiment secretly to obtain more wood style ninjas for his use. He left in anger and cursed the damned Sarutobi Hiruzen. Uchiha Seong Yamato Uchiha Yuji saw that Sarutobi Hiruzen rejected Shimura Danzo, a seemingly fierce guy, for them, and he was more determined to identify with the third Hokage. I, Uchiha Yude, will fight for the Hokage-sama. I, Yuji, will do the same. Sarutobi Hiruzen was very happy to accept 2 Konoha shinobi with sufficient potential, and they were 2 ninjas from the Uchiha clan. The wood-style plan doesn't need to continue at this point. I really didn't expect that Sharingan would achieve a yin-yang balance with Hashirama cells. If we continue, it might only increase the combat power of the Uchiha clan. Fortunately, the key to the wood-style plan lies in Hashirama cells. If Uchiha doesn't have Hashirama cells, even if they know the experimental data, it will be useless. This is also the reason why Sarutobi Hiruzen gave up the wood-style plan, and also the reason why he indulged Uchiha Huangwo to participate in the experiment. It seems that we must protect the flesh and blood of the first Hokage, and never allow the Uchiha people to obtain any Hashirama cells. There is no need for the 2 brothers, Yamato and Yuji, to return to the Uchiha clan. Let them join Umbu first and strengthen their will of fire first. The wood-style plan was completed, and many Umbu ninjas came to the laboratory to take away the experimental data and failed experimental subjects, as well as those precious experimental instruments. Advertisement. Orochimaru and Huangwo looked at each other in silence. Teacher Orochimaru, it seems that the experiment has come to an end. It's a pity that many aspects of Hashirama cells have not been confirmed. This is indeed disappointing. Let's find an opportunity to restart the research plan of Hashirama cells in the future. That's the only way. I'm leaving first, Teacher Orochimaru. Let's go first. I need to review the memory of the wood-style plan. Then, the body of the wildfire suddenly turned into a cloud of smoke with a bang. The shadow clone took the initiative to cancel it, and the main body of the Uchiha wildfire who was training at home accepted the memory. I see, the wood-style project was terminated by the third Hokage. Uchiha Uday and Uchiha Yuji, two Uchiha clan members who successfully fused Hashirama cells, were all taken away by the third Hokage. This name is not well known in the family. I guess the third Hokage is so happy that he is not so overly wary of the Uchiha clan. This experiment confirmed the yin-yang balance between Sharingan and Hashirama cells, which makes Shimura Danzo more obsessed with Sharingan, and the clan members who are on missions outside are more dangerous, right? Uchiha Huangwo thought about it and thought that Uchiha would not be too dangerous at this stage, and Shimura Danzo would not go too far even if he coveted the power of Sharingan. This ninja world war is not over yet, and Konoha still needs the power of the Uchiha clan. In addition, Shimura Danzo obtained 6 Hashirama bloodline ninja beasts and also obtained the wood-style Tenzo. If the Abarame clan ninjas are given enough time, these 6 Hashirama bloodline ninja beasts can be cultivated into more bloodline ninja beasts. This means that Shimura Danzo will have a steady supply of Hashirama brand ninja beasts Jinchuriki. The Uchiha clan rarely has ninjas who perform tasks alone, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is concerned about the Uchiha clan and did not recruit Uchiha clan ninjas to participate in the Ninja World War. So Shimura Danzo did not have much chance to seize the Sharingan. The third Hokage interrupted the wood-style plan, probably because he was worried about the increase in Uchiha's strength. Uchiha Huangwo could guess a little about Sarutobi Hiruzen's thoughts. I guess Sarutobi Hiruzen will limit and protect Hashirama cells, but he doesn't know the substitute of Hashirama cells, White Zetsu cells. White Zetsu cells are very similar to Hashirama cells to a certain extent and have similar vitality. Compared with Hashirama cells, White Zetsu cells are less corrosive and more suitable for transplantation to others. Whether it is Hashirama cells or White Zetsu cells, I don't plan to use them myself. My Great Sun Contemplation method can steadily increase my mental power and soul strength, so I don't have to worry about the problem of exhausting the Sharingan's pupil power. In Uchiha Huangwo's mind, if he awakens the Mangekyo Sharingan, he won't have to worry about exhausting the pupil power. This can also be regarded as an eternal eye in a sense. You should know that the concept of the eternal eye came from Uchiha Madara's fusion of his brother's Mangekyo Sharingan. From the literal meaning, you can understand that the pupil power is endless and will never lose its light. Then the Great Sun Contemplation method gives Uchiha Wildfire a continuous improvement in pupil power, so there is no need to worry about blindness due to exhaustion of pupil power. Isn't this similar to the eternal eye? If the Hashirama cell brings the Sage Body, the final stage of Uchiha Wildfire's Breath of Fire, it is speculated that it may also be the Sage Body. This is the same as the end. The Eternal Eye and Sage Body will be sufficient for the future Uchiha Wildfire, so the demand for Hashirama cells will not be so urgent. In addition, Uchiha Wildfire has an inexplicable worry about transplanting cells that contain other people's will, so he will not use Hashirama cells or White Zetsu cells himself. The reason for studying Hashirama cells is first to see whether the wood-style plan is feasible and to what extent Hashirama cells can do. To study Hashirama cells to understand the power of Sage Body. The second is for Uchiha. Wildfire himself does not use the power of Hashirama cells, but if those tribesmen are strengthened by Hashirama cells, then the strength of Uchiha will inevitably increase greatly. Uchiha ninjas who awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan do not have to worry about the risk of blindness due to eye power exhaustion, so Sarutobi Hiruzen's worries are not unreasonable. Now Uchiha Wildfire has mastered the transplantation plan of Hashirama cells. Even if Hashirama cells cannot be found, this plan is also applicable to White Zetsu cells. White Zetsu is everywhere in the ninja world, which is the perfect raw material. Now is not a good time to strengthen Uchiha. At least we have to wait until the end of this ninja world war. Uchiha Wildfire did not plan to use White Zetsu cells to strengthen Uchiha now. At this stage, Wildfire's voice in the family is not much. It is not too late to improve the family's strength when his words and deeds determine the direction of the family. Uchiha Seong Yamato Uchiha Yuji's affairs can be told to the family, which will lead to the family's prevention of the will of fire, and it can also be regarded as a preparation for the family's ideological lessons in the future. Thinking of this, Uchiha Wildfire came to the home of the great elder Uchiha Yunlong to tell him about it. Wood-style plan? I didn't expect Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others hadn't given up on this plan, and it actually succeeded. Arakawa, it seems you have also made a lot of efforts. Now tell me what you think about this matter. Elder Yunlong, I am thinking that if the wood-style plan succeeds, the tribe members can master the wood-style, and Hashirama cells will also have a certain effect on the improvement of Sharingan. Then Yamato Yuji fused with Hashirama cells and evolved into 3 Tomo Sharingan. Uchiha Arakawa expressed this idea calmly on the surface. Your idea is good, but Konoha will not allow Uchiha to obtain Hashirama cells. With the defense of Sarutobi Hiruzen and others, the probability of Uchiha mastering wood-style is too small. Advertisement. Uchiha Uday and Uchiha Yuji are brothers. Their mother is a member of the Uchiha clan, and their father is a commoner ninja who married into the family. It seems that these two brothers finally turned to Konoha and became Sarutobi Hiruzen's lackeys? Uchiha Yunlong was a little helpless. There was no good way to deal with such a clan member who was loyal to Konoha. Elder Yunlong, I also understand that Hashirama cells will be difficult to obtain in the future, but we can find corresponding substitutes, although similar substitutes are also difficult to find. The idea of the will of fire is too confusing. Many clan members have been persuaded by the will of fire to lean towards Konoha. The family must always care about the thoughts of the clan members, otherwise there will be more and more clan members like Yamato Yuji. This warning from the wildfire is also what Uchiha Yunlong is worried about. This is also what the Uchiha chief and elders are worried about. If the Uchiha people in the future continue to be affected by the will of fire, then the future situation of Uchiha will be worrying. However, the chief and elders do not have a good solution, and they can only care about the thoughts of the people at all times. But for Uchiha Huangguo, this situation is easy to solve. Just add a thought class and a history class to the clan school, so that the people can learn more knowledge in history, and they will not be affected by the will of fire. It's just that Huangguo didn't plan to give this advice to the family now. At this moment, the family listened to the advice, which would indeed change the thinking of the Uchiha people, but it would also trigger more hostility from people like Sarutobi Hiruzen. Again, Uchiha Huangguo wants to have the power to suppress everything before doing this. At that moment, he had the confidence to turn the table, and now he still needs to be stable first. Uchiha Yunlong knew about Konoha's wood-style plan and informed the clan leader Uchiha Fugaku, the second elder Uchiha Doan, the third elder Uchiha Yaoxin and the fourth elder Uchiha Matsi. The clan leader and elders knew about this matter, and they were all helpless about the whereabouts of two clan members, Yamato Yuji, and decided not to make it public. If this matter was made public, it would surely cause a new dispute between Uchiha and Konoha. Clan leader Uchiha Fugaku thought, Uchiha Yude, Uchiha Yuji, these are wood-style ninjas, let's see if we can get these two to return to the clan. It seems that Uchiha Fugaku still doesn't want to give up, which is also a normal idea. Wood-style ninjas are of great significance to Konoha. On this day, when Uchiha Huangguo was practicing chakra control, the fire dragon in his left hand and the phoenix in his right hand changed into various forms and floated in his palms. Suddenly, Huangguo looked at the flying phoenix and thought, wings, flying, why did I forget the secret technique to develop the power of flying? But he thought of the fact that he still lacked the power of flying, and found that he might have been influenced by the ninjas in the ninja world. There are very few ninjas in the ninja world who can fly, including Onoki's light and heavy rock technique, Deidara's clay bird, Star Ninja Village's peacock magic, Sai's super beast fake painting, Luosha's magnet-style secret sand mat, Conan's god paper technique, and Uchiha's complete Susanoo. Uchiha Huangguo only thought of these secret techniques that can fly, and almost forgot to mention the 6 paths level truth-seeking ball. Most ninjas in the ninja world have never thought of flying, but flying is the ultimate dream of mankind, and Uchiha Huangguo is no exception. How can we develop flying techniques without being limited to the secret techniques of the ninja world? At this moment, Uchiha Huangguo's thoughts diverged, and he thought of the 6-style moonwalk in the pirate world, the sword flying of the sword fairy, the wings of the bird, the mark armor of Iron Man, the high-temperature jet of the jet plane, etc. The 6th style, moonwalk, I may be able to practice it with my current physical fitness. Uchiha Huangguo has used full concentration breathing and sealing techniques to strengthen his body since he was a child. Today, his physical fitness is no worse than many strong people in the pirate world. Learning the 6th style, moonwalk, should not be difficult, but the air-staying walking of moonwalk is far from the flying mode that Huangguo wants. I can try to learn the 6th style, but the flying technique needs to be developed. With this plan, Uchiha Huangguo noticed the winged phoenix on his right hand, thinking that he could use chakra and the power of the heat-hot fruit to transform it into wings, so that he could fly freely. Chakra transforms into a pair of wings? This will test chakra control and shape change. This chakra control is my strong point, so don't worry. Chakra shape change, it doesn't seem to be difficult either. As he spoke, the dragon and phoenix on his hands changed, lifelike, and it was clear at a glance that this person's chakra shape change was very powerful. Then it shouldn't be difficult for Uchiha to complete the flying technique. However, considering that the flying technique requires a wider space, the training ground at home is not enough. Developing this secret technique in the training ground of Konoha will be observed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. I didn't expect this equipment to be used now. Uchiha took out a white armor from the space scroll. This is a derivative of the biological armor plan of the wood-style plan. But didn't the biological armor plan fail? It did fail for Orochimaru and Shinura Danzo. For the powerful power of the wood-style, it is still impossible to achieve it with current science and technology. However, Uchiha gave up the pursuit of the power of the wood-style and only chose the stealth and concealment ability of the wood-style power, which undoubtedly reduced the difficulty of the biological armor plan. He used the resources of the wood-style plan to open a small underground laboratory under the room at home. Orochimaru turned a blind eye to this. You should know that Orochimaru himself also embezzled resources from the wood-style plan, and Huangguo was just learning from a teacher. For this reason, he pretended to accidentally kill a white Zetsu, and used the white Zetsu cells to research this biological armor. This white Zetsu armor has no use to enhance physical strength, but only allows Uchiha Huangguo to use Mayfly technique to avoid most of the perception secrets. Now Uchiha Huangguo put on this white Zetsu armor, allowing Shadow Clone to study at home, and then used Mayfly technique to sink into the ground, and then came out of the Konoha gate openly. It came to a place far away from Konoha village and emerged from the ground. Using thermal perception and thermal imaging secrets, it was found that there were no traces of living people and white Zetsu within a kilometer radius of this place. First, the white Zetsu armor was recovered, and Uchiha Huangguo started to develop the flying technique. First, use the power of the heat-hot fruit and chakra to transform and condense the appropriate wing shape. At this moment, the chakra and the power of the heat-hot fruit were released, and a 1-meter-long single wing appeared on Huangguo's right hand. The wing is too short and the temperature is not enough. Keep trying. The next second, a 1.6-meter-long single wing appeared. It's still too short. Keep trying. A 6-meter-long single wing suddenly appeared. Oh, the wing is too long again this time. Keep trying. Uchiha Huangguo tried more than 300 times and finally determined the length of the wing and the required temperature of the heat-hot fruit. A single wing is 3.5 meters long and the temperature is 3000 degrees Celsius, which is the best data form. At this moment, Uchiha Huangguo stood in place, his eyes slightly glared, and his left and right shoulder blades immediately formed 3.5-meter-long fiery red wings. Calculating the distance between the shoulder blades, the wingspan of this fiery red wing has reached more than 7 meters. The temperature of this pair of wings is 3000 degrees Celsius. Uchiha Huangguo's mind moved, and a pair of wings suddenly flapped. A fiery whirlwind rose out of thin air, and Uchiha Huangguo's body flew into the sky. Adjust the angle of the wings, flap the wings again to continue flying high, and in the blink of an eye, it flew to a height of 1000 meters. Looking at the slowly flapping fiery red wings, Uchiha Huangguo looked at such a rare high-altitude beauty again. Then this flying technique has been successfully developed, so let's call it the blazing wings. Blazing wings. This is the name Uchiha Huangguo determined for the wings of this flight. Then the blazing wings flapped, and Uchiha Huangguo immediately flew forward, the flying speed soared, and successfully achieved the achievement of supersonic flight. It took only more than 10 minutes to fly to the seaside of the Land of Fire. Looking at the vast and uninhabited endless sea, Uchiha Huangguo's heart became inexplicably broad. Then he tried the limit of the flying secret technique blazing wings. The ultimate flying speed of blazing wings is Mach 1, which is already very good. If the flying speed of Mach 1 can be achieved with the first development of the flying technique, there is no need to force too much. When I flew to an altitude of about 3000 meters, I faced the problem of lack of oxygen. I almost couldn't maintain the full concentration breathing for many years. Fortunately, I performed the fire-style chakra mode at a critical moment to fall at a high speed. Otherwise, the full concentration breathing mode that I maintained until today would have failed. The problem of lack of oxygen at high altitude really made Uchiha Huangguo helpless. In the original Hokage drama of my previous life, those flying ninjas did not encounter this problem. Even when Uzumaki Naruto, Hayagahi Hinata and other Konoha shinobi went to the moon, they did not have any problems with lack of oxygen. How come when they came to Huangguo, they just developed the secret technique of flying, and they encountered the problem of lack of oxygen when they wanted to fly higher? This problem really makes me uncomfortable. It seems that if we solve the problem of lack of oxygen at high altitude, we don't have to think about flying higher. By the way, a flight altitude of 3000 meters is enough in the current ninja world. There are not many ninjas who can fly in the ninja world itself, and I guess these ninjas who can fly can't fly too high. Thinking of this, Uchiha Huangguo felt much better and continued to fly freely in the sky of the ninja world. After flying for about 10 minutes, Uchiha Huangguo slowly landed and released the blazing wings. This amount of chakra can release blazing wings for about 10 minutes, so blazing wings cannot be used as a regular secret technique, but can only be used against the enemy at a critical moment. The current total amount of chakra of 20 cards is only enough for Huangguo to fly for 200 minutes, and this is only by using blazing wings without other ninjutsu secret techniques. As for how to solve the problem of lack of oxygen at high altitudes, Uchiha Huangguo thought about it for a while and found some clues. Since there is a lack of oxygen at high altitudes, it would be better to make the body only perform anaerobic respiration, which requires strengthening anaerobic respiration, or change the things needed for breathing, so that oxygen is not needed. Huangguo's ideas are not so scientific, but they are very ninja.